What's this right here? Broken mirror, man? What is this? Some sort of a, what is this, man? What is this? Some sort of a mirror, man? Some $5.99 mirror from fucking Target, man? What is this? Right here. They don't trust yellows. It's all good. It's all good. I wouldn't trust yellows either. That's the one thing I don't do is trust yellows. I hate them. I hate the yellows. Free mirror puzzle. Ooh, mirror puzzle. Oh, puzzy. Fuck. I can't believe Tommy Wood took your mod away, man. Can't believe they did that, man. Why didn't that play? I believe he took it away, man.
Tommy Wood said Aaron told James he was me. That's how I lost my moderator level. No, and no moderator. James the first, I'm convinced, is a military-industrial complex, just a CGI bot.
I can't believe he did that, man. Why would you do that, man? Why would you take Coast Dollar's wrench away, man? Yo, justice for Coast Dollar. He's not getting t-shirts. His wrench is getting taken away. What kind of fuck shit is this, man? This is gonna be my next tree that I will hang out at and sit down with. We're gonna sit down here by this tree with Bach. I'm sweaty. Your bark is bigger than your bite. Woo! Hell yeah.
Morning.
Hi.
Afternoon, I guess it is.
Karen Winters.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Let me see what this is right there.
No worries.
Yes, ma'am. It's not a good time. I'm at an interview. I'll call you later. Hi, sister. Listen.
All right. Well, this is the building. It's a
It's gonna be my pickup location right
150-year-old building, so I think it's dusty. But yeah,
It's Major Dusty McFarland.
exactly. Only thing is there is quite a bit of stairs. There's some areas there that
That's gonna be where I want my.
go up, see how tall the buildings get in the back
Yeah.
there. There are some areas that
The
you
fuck?
have an issue with heights or anything like that.
Did it cancel my ride out?
You just tell everybody, you can paraglide, or whatever that is. All the things you want to do when you're 17 that you never do, I'm
Right.
ready to do that. So no.
I've actually hired someone and I forgot to ask him that one time and he like
I'm not
10
doing
minutes
that.
into it, he's like, I didn't do that, dude. I'm like, come on, you're a big guy.
It's still clean. I kept hearing it. I just cleared it.
YouTube.
No. It was
Did I get it?
Laura, and
Oh.
it's still
Yeah, mine will do that too. I actually sometimes even have to completely reboot my phone sometimes because it won't go away. That with Spotify too, sometimes it does that.
Yo, I got some big TTSs this morning.
All right.
I just came off on my 2 hour mark. That's the sweat that came off my face just now.
Uniform is pretty.
It's pretty humid.
Look
at that. That's all moisture.
I'm just gonna scan them.
Oh, look. They came after me. Look, they spied after me. I'm slightly paranoid, but they're after me, man. They're after me.
Yeah, there's too much we get done doing the essential portion.
It's really nice to see you out and about. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Uniform is pretty simple. It's just.
I really appreciate the TTSs, man. If it wasn't for the TTSs, I wouldn't be out and about at all. So thank you, everyone. Thank you. There's a bunch of y'all here this morning, man. Coast Dweller, White Devil, Daddy, Coast Dweller, CJ, Coast Dweller, B Square, Ryan Youngblood again. A bunch of people before that. Thank you.
You have to clean one of the big machines.
I low-key had a really good stream as far as how I get stream.
I should get going overall.
I did really well this stream, I think. I haven't added it up, but I think I did really well.
When the school is starting Monday, they're initiating a perfect attendance.
And it says, great stream so far. Totally was screwing up my work day and Charlie canceling his appointment. Props to the future funders.
We'll go over that though.
I mean, it's cool.
My wife's counting off.
The breeze feels good.
Okay, it'll be wonderful down here. No time.
The breeze is coming through, blowing on my hair. My man bun game's going ham.
All right.
And actually, now that you
Everything
mention
is good.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I made sure I wasn't suspicious before I left the pigger station.
Sometimes.
That lady said everything was cool.
She actually came to
She
visit.
doesn't need my name. She doesn't need
Where
to
can I
know where
go?
I'm going. She
Yeah,
doesn't need
stop
my
it.
address.
Well, at least
I was willing to give all of that to her. Just
No,
so
that's
I don't
one thing that's nice.
sound like-
Even in the wintertime,
No, sometimes
even in
it's
the
better.
wintertime, it doesn't get
Just
too
say,
cold.
hey, man,
Although I do have little
this
heaters
is
that
where I
I'll turn on
live,
underneath
man,
that stuff.
buddy.
Most of the time, it's not bad at all. You've never worked with Force before in
Don't tell them
Toledo?
where you live. They're gonna come and do that thing they did to Chile
Sometimes
24
folks are in
times.
our system. They don't realize it.
registered, but I
You guys remember?
Oh, so you are in the
Wasn't any
system?
jobs.
Okay.
You guys remember that?
We'll just update. I mean, if you're in there, we'll just update the old one then.
I know you guys remember. After like the 22nd time, he was like, "Nah, fuck this, man. I'm not showing you my butthole, man. Fuck that. I'm not showing you no fucking butt."
I'm gonna go.
Can't believe it's so hot.
Make sure John's.
We have overcast.
A few minutes for you once we get.
There's a breeze coming through, and I'm still sweating bullets, man. Jesus. Straight bullets. Redneck Dad says dug in his bunghole. You like the Waffle House there, Mario? You like the greasy waffles? Kato says it was all ruse. I would have told him my name was James Springer and I live in New Mexico. Yeah. Yeah. Straight up. I would have been like, yeah, my name is James Springer and I live in New Mexico.
Left, so by the time we get done, we'll be done. All right.
Straight up.
John's really cool. He's from
Oh my God.
the Toledo area as well.
That's what y'all looking here. I'm pretty sure someone called and was like, this guy is not James Springer at all. His name is Val Nugent. And what he's saying is a lie. That's not even his accent. He didn't come from far away. This motherfucker lives right here. This motherfucker's not from far away at all. I'm leaving. I don't want to play this game anymore.
We have some ladies that do that.
Thank you everyone for the TTS.
The quality person
Everyone else
over,
can get fucked,
they're
I
actually testing the product. Now, as they do,
Oh yeah, NB squared.
make sure that they're actually
Right.
correct.
If you didn't
They
send me
send
a
them over
TTS,
to
I
the other
really hate you.
facility to get packaged.
No freedom
This is
for
just
you.
the mill building.
You have to go get
They
freedom
don't do
somewhere
hardly,
else.
well, they don't do any production here anymore. It's just preparing the product to be shipped over to the telegraph facility. That's where it gets packaged.
Oh. Because this used to be the factory. I
It used to
remember
be
that
everything.
part.
Yep.
Yeah,
Used to
I
be everything.
remember
Yep. They had lines working in the back and stuff like that.
Now there's one on Telegraph.
It's a much more modern facility. But this mill, it does its job. I mean, it's been around for a while. Should update that. I'm on a Zoom right now too. I'm just listening to it in the background. The shelter, is storms that bad? Whoops, somebody just dropping out. Down in South Carolina, I think.
You awakening wonders, it's Thursday, and as yet Jesus Christ has not returned to earth. But we need you, Jesus. Come back. Let us know in the chat and comments if our Lord Jesus has made himself clear, plain to you from some sort of apparition. Doesn't count if it's in toast. Doesn't count if it's in a cloud. One actual Jesus incarnate, emanating light to
Nobody's ever
change the
come
world
to
because
come
we
before,
need
so.
it. Do them Trump documents show an intention to invade Iran? Is Rand Paul?
It's kind of cool though. What's weird about it is,
Is he
150 years ago, people weren't nearly as tall.
No, you didn't, Rand. You didn't just go
And
there.
they're like, oh, this is a mission thing. No, this is a
Rand
real.
goes to
This is a
Gatesland because a
full-size
lot of
base
people
for
aren't willing to start saying in public.
So every
Bill
tall
Gates
person that
and
comes down,
Fauci
like,
were
I made
costly
up a tape and
contributors
stuff
to
like
the
that.
pandemic.
People
It's Thursday.
smoking their
You
heads
tell
in
us in the
place.
chat right now, what do you think the role of Bill Gates was in the pandemic? What do you think Fauci's influence was, benign or malign? If you're watching us on Rumble right now, press the red button and join us on Locals. That's our community. We've got a community. That's what people need, and it got community. If you're watching us on YouTube or Twitter or something so young and modern, I ain't even heard of it yet. Say for all I know, you're watching this on Twitch. For all I know, you're extraterrestrial nation watching this in the future. You got it out one of them pods people used to do. Don't do that so much now, do we? No. Like pods for the future. They always do that. We're going to bury this in a pod for the future. Now, we ain't got a future. If you've got something, don't put it in a pod. Sell it. Sell it before the Mad Max apocalypse times are upon you. So, hold on a minute. I've got some really vital and important points to make. Yeah, Rand Paul. Rand Paul. We want Rand Paul on this show. If you know Rand, or if you are Rand, put yourself now. Oh, yeah, I am Rand. If you are Rand, come on, and we want to talk to you about this stuff. Because even though he's a Republican, isn't he? Yep. And didn't he have some shares in some sort of
every day on time.
It's not as bad as other people's. I think he's a good independent political voice. And if there's going to be change within the system, it's going to come from alliances from people from the left and the right that are willing to challenge establishment authority. And Rand Paul is willing to do that. I like his hair. It's like a baby's hair.
In terms of like that alliance that you just said then, there were moments a few weeks ago, a couple of months ago, where Rand Paul and him and Bernie Sanders were both
for that position mainly it's
Moderna, and he was like, oh look, working together.
You're charging too much for your vaccines, they were saying, weren't they?
Stuff like that.
Allegedly. Might be a reasonable price for a booster. Everyone needs a little boost once in a while, and some people are willing to pay through the snout hole. We talk about that, Rand Paul. I'm doing a bit of yoga later. Stay with me for that. Why are you laughing, folks? It was
a burp.
I'm trying my hardest. I'm trying to get through life. I'm just a human being. I've got a digestive system, just like anybody else. I've got all sorts of systems that I'm running simultaneously. I'm breathing. I'm digesting. Cells are being created. I'm in tune with subtle realms. I'm doing my very best. Let's have a look at it. Oh, by the way, like once we because I've got to tell these people, my on-screen assistant, my friend, like you might be watching us on YouTube. In a minute, we're going to go on Rumble because we told you during the pandemic that powerful political figures were not obeying their own rules and regulations. Well, now we know for an absolute fact that they weren't. While you were watching funerals on YouTube, while you were missing the birth of your baby, while you were losing jobs and losing your mind,
you're asking me how many
they were
hours
having the jingle bell mingle. This is during
Person's
tier
doing a
3.
good job.
Tier 3.
You always know when they're doing a good job.
Muscle, you'll kill a man right up her lung pipe. And they were jingling and mingling.
It's bittersweet.
That.
I'm happy that
this
it's
is
working
tier
out
3.
for them.
You're prohibited from socialising with anybody you do not live with or have not formed a support bubble with. Support bubble in any indoor setting, private gardens or at most hospitality venues. You are not going to believe this video that we're going to bring you when you see the powerful boogieing on down while you were locked up in your home. But there's no room for any systemic change. Everything's fine. Just keep
I'm remoted to that one,
handing
so I can
over
actually
your
see your
tax
screen.
money. Barack
So
Obama, he
I'm
ain't
gonna
handing
help
over
you
his income tax.
with the
He's
temporary
giving advice on
login,
how
and
to
then it's gonna
avoid
ask you
laws
for
that he
your
helped pass. Before we get into all of that, and by God, you've heard there's a
Employee
hell of a lot
login.
happening. It's a crazy world we live in.
I just realized the internet's nice and fast here.
Cool. And Rand, if you're out there, we know you are. Come on our show. And if you've got access to Rand, make sure he sees this video.
When you
How
click,
nice we're
it's
being
gonna
about
take
Rand.
a minute to
Right, here's
react.
Rand on Fox questioning Bill
The
Gates
longer
and
you-
Fauci
you
and their
use
role as
just
architects to
your
the
first name,
pandemic
last
response and
name.
whether or not they benefited in ways other than, of course,
And you
helping
just
everyone, which is always their main motivation. You know that now. That's what billionaires do, isn't it? And bureaucrats, they help us. Thanks for your help that's made you so rich.
Now
You
it's
must
gonna
have
ask you
helped
to
us to
create
be
one.
that rich. You must have helped me so hard. You must have helped me so hard in my privates. Let's have a look at Rand Paul on Fox right now.
But we all know that Communist China covered it up initially. How are you going to get the truth now? They won't even allow an investigation into the Wuhan lab.
Yeah, Bao had to leave too.
Yeah, it's not easy, and they haven't been forthcoming. I think the only way to convince them is that it won't all be about blaming them because we participated in funding this. The blame equally should go not only to Chinese authorities, but to Anthony Fauci and all those who advocated for this. But there has to be a reassessment. Look, Bill Gates has been over there recently. Bill Gates is the largest funder of trying to find these viruses in remote caves and bring them to big cities. So what happened in China is they
Beautiful way of framing it. That's part of what gain of function research requires, finding novel viruses that as yet haven't made an interspecial jump, experimenting with them in order, supposedly, apparently, and most plainly and overtly, in order to create a vaccine.
You
For a
just
disease
log in
that
using the
doesn't
one you
exist
just
yet.
created.
If some stories are to be believed, I'm talking about Schellenberger's recent revelations on this show that the Wuhan, what did I call it? The Wuhan virus. The coronavirus began in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, which I think is in... Yes, that's where it is.
Yeah.
And I
Next
heard
to
that
that
I heard that the first three people, you,
next to
and
that page.
Zhu, were all working in that lab. Don't be childish.
Update your contact info
So
there.
if Fauci, of course, is the because under Barack Obama, gain of function research was banned in the United States, so they transferred it to a little old place you might have heard of it called Wuhan. And indeed, it seems that Bill Gates, and we can't prove this, and we've got to be careful about this, haven't we? Especially on YouTube. Rand Paul is saying, and we've got no reason to doubt him, I don't think, that Bill Gates is the number
This
one.
research, yeah.
He's funding it.
That's what he's saying.
Certainly, he significantly funds the WHO. 88% of its total philanthropic donations come from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Certainly, Bill Gates set up the Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. $750 million he put into that. For the first part of his life, it was all paper clips and windows, wasn't it? It was all about, he helped us in a much more mercantile and observably profitable way. Now, Bill Gates' help has moved in a much more diffuse and yet still helpful forms, mostly medicines, isn't it?
I thought it was interesting how he started then kind of not buying into the anti-China narrative, which you could say that maybe would be, the kind of typical thing that Fox would do. It's certainly something that he's complained about himself in terms of members of his own party who are, in terms of like war with China, beating the drums, I think he said last week. But his point about like Bill Gates and Fauci, I mean, when you look into that, we obviously we want to investigate further. Having him on the show would be great to find out what the details are about Bill Gates funding this kind of function.
On this page here,
But if you
just
look
in
at
the
it in terms of,
boxes here,
like,
just
the
check things
cause
that you have
of the
experience
pandemic,
in,
we now
and
know
under
because of
availability,
China
what your
that
shift
the
availability. It's
NIH,
not just for this
who
position,
Fauci was
but in
ahead of,
general.
funded gain of function research in Wuhan that led to patient zeros and then potentially the start of this pandemic.
Can you have more than one patient zero? Or is that like a really bad combo on a padlock?
went 8 to 10 hours south of Wuhan, 200 to 300 feet deep into a cave, found viruses and took them back to a city of 15 million. There are many, many scientists who think that Bill Gates is wrong in funding this, that our government's wrong, that the Chinese government.
Do you agree with Rand Paul? Do you want that kind of research done? It seems to me that is the very kind of topic that should be exposed to the searing heat of democracy. Do you want gain-of-function research, or do you want bureaucrats and billionaires deciding that you want gain-of-function research, funding it, potentially profiting from it, even though it sounds risky, and potentially that risk has already been realised in the last 3 years? Let me know in the chat where you stand on that. Is this a matter for an evolved democracy? Isn't it interesting as well the way these issues are continually framed? It reminds me of a story that we're going to be doing in a little bit, and then of course everyone's covering Trump and the secret boxes. People talk about, why has Trump got those boxes? But isn't the more important subject what is in the boxes? If there's plans for a war, then that's the story, really. And when it comes to a matter like gain-of-function research and whether this virus began in a bat cave, in a wet market, in the Wuhan Institute of Virology, one of the neglected narratives is, should this even be happening? And who benefits from this happening? And aren't we right now in a time where we're interrogating the validity and veracity of our systems of government and commerce? And isn't this the very kind of idea that should be scrutinised? Let me know in the chat, because I'm genuinely interested. If you're like, no, we've got to have our precious gain-of-function research. I mean, it's not the NFL. It's not the Premier League. It's not that part of our culture that we just can't give up, is it? It's not the MTV Awards, which we all know is where the great presenters shine most brightly, don't we?
We do know that.
I've always agreed that.
I think the other important point about this is that, highlighting Bill Gates and Fauci might seem a bit like, well, is it really just those two? and it can maybe feel a bit like, well, you can't just blame two people. But we know if Michael Schellenberg is correct that Fauci was involved through the NIH in the funding of this in Wuhan that could have led to the whole pandemic starting. We know that both of those were involved in the explanation of it.
Okay.
They were sending
I'm gonna load
emails
some
that were
forms and you're gonna
redacted
log right
by
back in.
Timothy Bias of the Intercept and other journalists who found that they were, in terms of the proximal origins theory, encouraging this idea that this started in a wet market.
Well, they were themselves discussing the possibility that it had a clinical origin and closing down that line of inquiry, perhaps precisely because gain-of-function research is risky. And are we now experiencing those risks and how irresponsible those that have conducted it have been? It shouldn't perhaps be happening in the first place.
We also know, obviously, that the last part of that is that they were both involved in the pandemic response. Fauci, obviously, through his role, which we all know about, and Bill Gates through the WHO and Garvey.
It was all over the TV when he Fauci, every 10 minutes telling you to put this on and take that off and stand over there. And let me tell you, the British government were happy to stand behind podiums with flags behind them, advocating for you to sit down and shut up as usual, miss your job or attend your job, depending on what economic class you exist within, were themselves ignoring their own advice. Why? It's Christmas time. You've got to sing a jingle at Christmas time, haven't you? Do you remember that? When, like in our country, you might not know this. Let me know if you're watching this in the UK, by the way, so as we can...
the green button there says the boys start wizard.
But do you remember when Boris Johnson said, oh, we're not going to cancel Christmas, then we are going to cancel Christmas. But what difference did it make to them? Because they didn't cancel their own Christmas. We're going to be exclusively discussing that on Humble because, unbelievably, we have to censor ourselves when we're attacking the establishment. Indeed, we believe that's what the censorship industrial complex is primarily about. It's not about protecting you from harmful information, like we might advise you to take a tablet that's going to give you a opinion. It's much more likely we're going to give you an opinion that's going to make you less compliant. What do you think? Let me know in the chat. Have you noticed what the elite establishment seems to be most interested in? Is it your safety? Or is it your compliance? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. And while we're on that subject, they're collecting your data in unique and nefarious ways. Because it's illegal for the state to spy on you, because Edward Snowden exposed the level to which they were spying on you, because Julian Assange, a resident of Belmarsh here in the UK without trial currently, revealed how your government's actions abroad are at odds, perhaps, with your own domestic requirements. We are, still discussing the ways that they access your data. It seems the government are purchasing private data from private companies in order to skirt round various regulations and rules to prevent them spying on you. Now, you remember during the pandemic when they said that the vaccine passports were only a temporal measure and it's not going to lead to social credit scoring. Remember the ways and the breadth of their deception and their lies. Well, it seems now that they're acquiring private data by purchasing it from private companies. Can you tell us a bit more about this, Gareth, the scope and scale? Is it sort of just the US?
It's the US at the moment, but you're absolutely right. Yeah, government agencies tend to have to navigate an array of laws that prevents them from tracking Americans without like a warrant or a court order. But in this case, there are legal restrictions on private companies that
you get hit hard with the tornado.
Personal data. We've talked about it before with mainstream media, and we've talked about how those corporations themselves package and sell your data. So another way in which the kind of irony of the mainstream media coming and telling us about all these things that are dangerous, whilst not telling us about the wars that are dangerous.
I'm glad you're okay.
Packaging and selling
yeah,
to
that's why they can't accurately report on the scale of data capture and the way your data is used, because they are some of the primary beneficiaries of being able to bundle and sell your data more even than, and I don't like to say this word in mixed company, more than sites. Not that I use them. Not that I use them. I merely went onto that pornography site to see if whether or not it captured my data, and it didn't capture nearly so much as it as CNN or MSNBC or Fox, because hey, they're all the same if you ask me, baby.
Things what the government will come back and say, oh, it's not, we don't know private things, but this is a government report that has revealed commercially purchased data can reveal sensitive and intimate information about the personal attributes, private behavior, social connections, and speech of US persons and non-US persons.
What about my private attributes and behaviors?
Do you know where the office is?
I ain't done nothing to be ashamed of. I was only, as I said, I was looking at that porn site,
I could send you a text
and I went straight over to MSNBC, who I know will take care of me and will protect me from information.
I'll send you a text with the actual address.
From its hurty bads. Let's have a look at the mainstream.
Just to jump in quickly.
Why?
Because, we had recently, of course, the way
minutes.
that this was all being talked about with relation to TikTok and China, and we know why that's being used, to the anti-China narrative.
If you know anyone else interested too, it's pretty exciting too, because I think it says in the ads that they're just not starting
the relationship between the US and China. They played out when they were saying that TikTok's dangerous, but then really what we think they were saying is use TikTok to carry out.
Time to be coming in.
We're doing just as bad. We talk about TikTok's.
All right, well, you have a good weekend, and I'll see you Monday.
You ain't no better in it. Let's have a look at this story. This is a mad news story called Bottom Line with Dagan Duffy. He's a bloody good broadcaster. Actually, I don't know which one's Dagan Duffy.
All right, of course, there's other names and apartment number. For some reason, we have to put NA in
your
the
personal
slots.
data is up for sale, and
I like it, baby. She sounds like Cher in that Bubble Voice song.
Yeah,
if I could turn back time.
Yeah. What's the other one? The more modern one.
Can I break through? That one. Oh, I wish I had. Hold on a sec. Wait, it's worth it.
This will be good.
Wasn't worth it. Let's get back to the news.
It's being bought by spy agencies at the federal government. A report released by the Director of National Intelligence reveals that U.S. intel, military, and federal law enforcement agencies are buying and selling personal information.
So they're buying it from them, probably. They're buying it from Fox, MSNBC, CNN. These people are not your friends. As Terence McKenna, the great late Terence McKenna, that psychonaut, that ethnobotanist, that genius of the plant mind would say, the culture is not your friend. Of course, the culture generates magnificent things. It created Jimi Hendrix. It created David Bowie. It created John Updike. It created thousands of geniuses. It created you and me together right now. But ultimately, what is the function of the culture? It is to contain you, condition you, to conform you, to institutionalize you, and to make you passive. Now, listen, we're going to leave you now on YouTube or Twitch or Twitter or Social Bot or Hand Clap or Truth Social or wherever the hell you're watching this to show you what you've long believed. Now, you're going to want to click on the link. Click that link in the description to join us on the home of free speech, baby, which is Rumble, to have a look at exactly what parties the powerful were conducting while they were telling you to sit down, mask up, and shut up before you coronavirus to the lovely old grandma. Look at what they were doing. In the background of their parties, you can see their signs saying stand 2 meters apart while they're agadooing and boogieing on down in a conga of absolute deception and treachery. Join us only on Rumble. We cannot show you this stuff. It's too explosive. It's gonna incite revolution. It's gonna incite revolution. I told you that you'd incite revolution. Join us right now on Rumble. Are we off yet, Gal? Are we off? Are we off? Are we safe? Are we safe? Right. Okay. Let's have a look at this. So this is like in this country. This is
Some cheese and wine.
Yeah, why not? Let's have a feel like these guys. Why don't we spit in each other's mouths, for God's sake? Who's to say that these pandemic rules are doing anything at all? I mean, that's I know what a lot of you think. Tell me in the chat right now. A lot of you think like, oh, so they weren't scared then. So why aren't they scared? That's like a big key point here. No, they should be bloody scared. Look at how rubbish their parties are. Look at how they firstly look like the British office, which is the original office. I hate to remind you that we invented your language and the good majority of your culture. Let's have a look at this is the former Prime Minister Boris Johnson's administration partying on down, while the rest of us were not mixing with other households, staying apart, maximum of 6. Watch out for schools that could kill a nan, overnight stays that could kill a granddad, old uncle could be killed by a place of worship if it's outside of your support bubble. A lovely old uncle could be folded up like a bloody deck chair. But look at what this lot were doing throughout the whole farrago. This footage belongs to the Daily Mirror, which is a type of newspaper, I suppose, reflecting you back at you. That's right. That's what I suppose it's supposed to do. Let's have a look.
The new federal form has gotten nuts. First of all, we need to update that.
I feel very happy about that. That looks like it's taking place in a care home, actually. They don't look well, those two people. Are they fully compliant?
They're Boris Johnson aides.
They work for dear Boris.
Yeah.
Okay, and then how we
job interview process.
Okay, no,
they're out of hand, aren't they? The
probably very
which
drunk.
way you want to file?
They're drunk. Why don't they change the lighting
Right.
for the party
And
as
then,
well?
do you have any dependents?
You're not going to cop off with no one in that kind of lighting. Well, maybe Boris Johnson.
Then,
Because,
yeah,
no,
but
he has
it
a
is
long
0,
litany.
Because it automatically is going to do
Children,
you.
too many
and
to
then
name, I
like-
think.
Now the rest of this
Probably
is just a
name them.
worksheet.
I mean,
It
it's
doesn't,
amazing actually that it was
even if you were to
surprised.
put
You'd think
stuff
that
in
they'd be
here,
a bit more
it
secretive
doesn't do
about it.
it.
It'll turn the lights down. We're not meant to be doing this, but no, brazen. Have them as
Brazen.
light as you like.
So then they were going out. That was the same day that our health
This is the
minister
state
at the
version.
time,
Make sure you
Matt
update that
Hancock was
social
his
on there
name,
as
went on
well.
the telly saying, this is really serious, wasn't it?
Don't worry about the
Get
license
into your
number
tier
too.
restrictions,
So.
yeah.
We're getting a
That's what it
tier
was.
3 now. We're having to go up a tier. I hate doing this.
know why the state
Jing
asked for that.
he'd
It's none of
said
their business.
to contain the surging number of COVID infections. My God.
They do
So
need the
really, really
birthday on there, though,
embarrassing
on
for
the
the
top,
government.
yeah.
And I suppose my analysis of that is, you know what you think about your government, that they're pretending they're there to help you and serve you, but in fact they're there to control you and serve corporate interests. And deep down, they don't believe in their own rules or obey their own
check it
rules because
out.
they have access to information that they would prevent you from seeing. Well, there you go. It's observably, palpably, plainly true. If we had more sense, if we had more dignity, if we had more stamina, if we had the ability to communicate and stay awake, we simply wouldn't tolerate it, would we? We would demand fairer, better systems of government. Do you know what happened with this? It'll be used by the opposition party, who will be more or less the same. They might be a little bit nicer around a few issues, but they'll be basically the same.
I think, the twin story to this, to go back to what we
Just put today's date.
is that,
It won't let- it's
similar
weird.
time to
It won't
this,
let you put a
Andy
future
Fauci
date.
and members of the Bill Gates Foundation were creating
Yes, it is.
proximal origins theory
Oops.
to basically quell any idea
start
that this
doing
came out of a lab and that the US funding had anything to do with
There you
it.
go.
And so what you've got is, in this country, your government telling you, you need to be locked down because this is really serious.
And then number
we
six,
care-
number six
we
up on
care
top.
about you. And in the United
If you want to
States,
claim
both
yourself,
sides
you
are
want to
essentially
put one in
lying
there.
to us. One is like saying, This came out of nature. Because it came out of nature, there's nothing that we could have done about it, and there's nothing that we could know about this. And you just stay at home, and we'll sort out a solution to this. Whereas actually, what we know is what's happening is these guys were partying, and in America,
it's got to be
coming up with a whole
blaming
different
yourself or
So let me know in
exempt,
the chat right now if you have had your faith in democracy shaken a little harder. Still to come is Adrienne Mishler from Yoga with Adrienne, one of the most influential figures in the world of yoga. Please hit the red join button and come to Locals with your yoga mat and put your question to Adrienne at the end.
See where it says
of the
pending
stream.
review? It just means I have to do
Now,
my
though,
portion.
Another
Oops.
story
Nope,
that
you've already
helps us
done
to
it.
understand
Already
the
done it.
ways in which the brinkmanship of media narrativization operates. We are in the midst of a great
good, good, good.
scandal.
As long as they
where
don't
they're
say
attempting
input,
to
you're
indict
good.
Trump, presumably to prevent Trump running again on the basis
Awesome.
of his
All right, not on the computer.
possession of boxes of secret documents. But what is in those
Some of
boxes?
this is
Apparently,
redundant.
we heard yesterday, golf shoes and golf shirts and golf memorabilia. That's part of it. But also, potentially, and perhaps more interestingly, although equally interestingly, plans to invade Iran, which seems extraordinary. Here's the news. No, here's the fucking news. What's in the boxes? Stop talking about the fact that he's got boxes. What's in the boxes? Is it plans for a war with Iran? What's in the box? We live in a world where people will censor Trump's post-arraignment speech. Also, we're fetishizing the fact that Trump has got these boxes. How dare he take those boxes? It's a transgression. It's awful. We can't have the contents of those boxes revealed. Why? That will give the Russians or the Chinese or whoever we are supposed to hate this week a terrible advantage in their ongoing potential perennial war against us. Or is there a possibility? And just let me know in the comments if you agree. But contained within Trump's boxes are plans for a war against Iran, has been alleged in some quarters. If that's true, that's more important and indeed chimes quite nicely with the previous revelations under Cheney, Bush et al. There was a global imperialist plan for the next American century to invade Iraq, done, Afghanistan, done, North Korea, working on it, and Iran. Let me know in the comments where you stand on this story. And let's have a look, first of all, to get started, let's have a look at MSNBC's decision not to broadcast Trump. They have such a complex relationship with Trump, don't they? Oh, we've got to show Trump, but not too much Trump. Can't we just cut off a bit of Trump and have it in the corner when we're talking about how bad Joe Rogan is or something? We just need a bit of Trump, but not too much Trump. There's always the mainstream Trump tipping point. You know, guys, I don't think Trump's the solution to your problems. I know loads do. Let me know in the comments. But they need enough Trump because no one will watch us if we don't show Trump, but not too much Trump. He's bloody appealing. Ah! The Trump paradox.
Now, tonight, after his arraignment on federal felony charges, he's speaking again, this time to an audience of his supporters that's gathered for a campaign fundraiser tonight at his golf club and summer home in New Jersey. We knew heading into this that he was planning to make these remarks. We are prepared for his pre-fundraiser remarks tonight to again be essentially a Trump campaign speech. Because of that, we do not intend to carry these remarks live.
I can't. We cannot trust you to judge Trump for yourself. It's mad, isn't it? What do they say about Trump? This guy is so alluring. If you hear him, it's going to blow your mind. I mean, it's pretty funny and stuff, but I think I can sort of like keep a clear head. I'm not like going all doe-eyed and giddy. Tell me what to do, boss. It's extraordinary, isn't it? Because we know that MSNBC's attitude to censorship fluctuates. They were very happy to carry certain messages around the vaccines, which have since been plainly, objectively, scientifically disproven. You know how they covered Russiagate, the idea that Trump, who they're plainly obsessed with, was peed on. Essentially was an agent for Russian interests. That's been disproven. It's never credible, and they were happy to carry that all the time. So
especially when you
Maddow
with
talks about the
what you just said yourself is ridiculous. You're like, no,
the most
no.
ridiculous thing you've ever heard. Is there anyone now
I would never
alive
do that.
who thinks that the mainstream media isn't essentially there to amplify their preferred perspective and ignore information that contradicts it? That's what they do, isn't it? If they're right-leaning, they'll amplify Republican messaging. If they're left-leaning, they'll amplify Democratic messaging. No one will amplify this message. You cannot trust either of those parties. They're both owned by corporate interests that are globalist in their nature. If you don't demand decentralized democracy, your lives and the lives of your children will be a form of mediated penury and slavery.
As we have said before, in these circumstances, there is a cost to us as a news organization to knowingly broadcast untrue things.
The idea that the media is responsible and conveys information on the basis of its veracity is simply untrue. It conveys information that is expedient. The objective is use Trump to increase views, but not so much Trump that the Democrats don't win the next election. We want the Democrats to win because, Rachel Maddow, who I keep telling you I think is a nice person who I actually like, appears at Lockheed Martin funded events. The world has gone all unusual. In the 1980s, would it have been plausible that a military-industrial complex company like Lockheed Martin, who make missiles that blow up kids, could sponsor gay pride? Because the idea behind the LGBTQ plus movement is tolerate and love everyone. You can't have a weapons manufacturer sponsor. That doesn't make sense. And yet, MSNBC and CNN are willing willing to platform pundits to speak about war, in particular the Ukraine-Russia conflict, that have ties to Lockheed Martin and Raytheon without declaring their credentials. You know this is a very common phenomenon. They're presented as military experts. Oh, I think there should be a war. And why do you think there's a war? Because I sell stuff that goes through the roof in wars. And when I say go through the roof, I mean it goes through the roof, into the living room, blows up a whole wedding party. Many of the retired military leaders employed by networks like MSNBC as paid contributors have secondary affiliations that are rarely, if ever, mentioned, leaving viewers in the dark about whose interests they're promoting. None of the leading networks makes a regular practice of announcing its military analyst financial ties to the Pentagon, connections that could colour their on-air comments. During its Ukraine coverage, MSNBC failed to include disclosures when the network invited on former Homeland Security expert Jay Johnson, who serves on the board of directors at Lockheed Martin, the world's biggest defence contractor. This military-industrial complex agenda becomes significant again when you contemplate what's in the boxes. Stop focusing on Trump and how bad or crazy or brilliant and fantastic you believe him to be, and figure out what is in there, because there is at least one fairly legitimate claim that plans for an American war against Iran is in those boxes. So you will be able to observe, perhaps over the coming months, how agitation with Iran begins, escalates until it's necessary because of humanitarian crises to go to Iran. I feel like we've seen this playbook before.
We are here to bring you the news. It hurts our ability to do that.
We can't advocate for war if people keep saying war is bad and kills children. So we're just going to get people on that work for Lockheed Martin who won't talk about that.
If we live broadcast what we fully expect in advance to be a litany of lies and false accusations, no matter who says them.
No matter who says them. Oh my God, undivided laptop, undivided laptop. Let me know in the comments which thing that CNN and MSNBC have ignored is agitating you most in that moment. We can't fund this without adverts from Raytheon, Lockheed Martin, Northrop Grumman. I just want to say, sometimes it's worth having a war just to see how good their missiles are. Oh, the way, woo, all over, like, it doesn't matter who it blows over. Don't try not to think too much about that. Enjoy this bit. Woo, oh, that bit, don't worry. Oh, no, just like us. Don't think about that. No, it's not for them. It's for probably some other sort of company which I pray don't benefit from wars. Harvard Health Review researched why people take supplements. The top response, they hope, these poor bastards, vitamin and mineral supplements will help others fight poor diet and exercise, and they hope they might offset family health issues. There is little evidence that the vitamin and mineral supplements we take are anything more than placebo. From 22 clinical trials comparing multivitamins to placebo, the health of the multivitamin group was no better than the placebo group. 5 servings of fruit and 5 servings of vegetables per day is linked to lower mortality, lower cases of cancer, reduced risk of high blood pressure, osteoporosis, cardiovascular disease, and respiratory disease. Field of Greens provides a full spectrum of the essential vegetables and fruits our bodies need for proper nutrition. Field of Greens is an organic superfood. It's the whole fruit and the whole vegetable, all in there, every little bit of it. Field of Greens is the only fruits and vegetable brand backed by a better health promise. Field of Greens promises you'll feel healthier fast, but the greater proof comes during your next physical when your doctor checks your lab results and goes, "Hey, baby, I don't know what you're doing, but keep it up. Let me get you started with 15% off your first order, plus free fast shipping. Visit brickhouserussell.com and use promo code BRAND. That's brickhouserussell.com, promo code BRAND. This is by Branko Markitic, the great left-wing writer writing in the left-wing organisation Jacobin. So if you're a person who's like traditionally Republican or right-wing or libertarian or independent, let me know in the comments. Listen to this. This is from the left. This is one of the things, like with me. Oh, he's a conspiracy theorist. He's right-wing. I'm not. The case of Donald Trump's latest indictment has monopolised national attention the past few days, with a broad range of commentators expressing outrage and condemning Trump for potentially compromising US nuclear secrets, weapons capabilities, defensive vulnerabilities, and plans for waging war on Iran. Wait, war with Iran? Yeah, hold on. Are we supposed to be having a war with Iran? Oh, yes, it's war with Iran now. But I thought it was Iraq. We done that war. But Iran? Yep, Iran. But
color coding,
it's our business.
green is always allergy.
Like, look, we're just having a war with Iran.
Yellow is for falls and wars, red is for book bags.
Just mind your own business. Is it literally my business? Yeah, it's literally your business. Between 30 and 50% of all your earnings are going to fund this war, actually. Yes, in a detail that's been almost entirely glossed over, central to this case are a set of secret government plans for attacking Iran. Other than as a pure factual matter or to stress how recklessly Trump treated classified information, this has been little remarked upon. Just for a moment, think about that. Like, what we're focusing on is Trump took them boxes. That's bad. It's classified information. Okay, full stop. What's in the boxes? Oh, we're going to have a war with Iran. Do you want a war with Iran? Well, actually, no. I don't see how that's going to help at all. Well, we'll just keep telling you stuff until you do want a war with Iran. It's good because of independent media like this, and because of Branko Markitic's writing, we're able to tell you now, and in fact, you'll be able to watch this unfold. You'll be able to see, like, you'll watch the mainstream media. Iran are bastards now. We can watch it unfold in real time. That's why they're trying to shut down stuff like this. Obviously, the issue stems from Trump's apparent frustration with what he claimed was a false narrative being pushed by the press that after losing the 2020 election under the advice of then Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu.
You're always going on about Benjamin Netanyahu. Let it go, Lynn. You're never going to meet it.
Who was briefly removed from power before returning last November, and the coterie of Iran hawks he'd surrounded himself with Trump was dangerously close to ordering strikes on Iran that could have triggered full-scale war and had to be talked down from it by chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, Mark Milley. According to the indictment in a recorded interview Trump gave at his New Jersey golf club in July 2021 to a writer and publisher working on an upcoming book, the former president maintained the reality of the situation was the exact opposite, that it was Milley and the Pentagon who were pushing for an attack on Iran, on a reluctant Trump, and that the classified documents he kept were proof of this. That sounds very Trumpy to me, doesn't it? Like, I'm keeping those boxes. Also, you know that the Pentagon and their partners in the military-industrial complex require ongoing war. If you're an ice cream salesman, you like a nice, long, hot summer, right? Specifically, Trump showed them a pages-long set of plans for attacking Iran that he said were independently drawn up by the military and presented to him. Sir, we've got these plans for attacking Iran. Why? Good for business? I'll keep that. While the Washington Post's Philip Rucker and Carol Leonig's book, I Alone Can Fix It, alleges that Milley told a confidant that he viewed preventing war with Iran before the 2021 inauguration as one of his missions, it also depicts Milley as one of the advisors urging on Trump's drone assassination of Iranian Quds Force commander General Qasem Soleimani. New York Times reporter Peter Baker's own reporting on that assassination at the time didn't depict Milley in the best light, as he justified the reckless strike on the basis of reportedly vague intelligence about threats that actually didn't come to pass. Oh, there's probably going to be some attack. Oh no, what should we do? I don't know, go to war with Iran? Where's them attacks? I don't know about them now, sorry, I forgot about that. This comes in the midst of years of ratcheting up tensions between not just Iran and the United States, but maybe more dangerously, Iran and Israel. Yeah, that doesn't sound good. The latter's government has been pushing the Biden administration to take a more aggressive posture toward Iran for years. Pressure that's been ratcheted up under Netanyahu's current hardline government, which has carried out its own strikes inside Iran and done several major and threatening joint exercises with the US military, including one just last week. Oh no, it's this again, isn't it? That's why it always starts. We're just doing this military exercise. Is it above someone else's airspace? Yeah, it's above their airspace. Like they always say stuff like, a Chinese warship got in our way. Where were you? China? Hey, one of our drones got knocked down by Russians. Where were you? Russia? Stop bothering people in their own countries and then saying it's their fault. More recently, the Discord leaks of Pentagon intelligence revealed that the CIA itself doesn't know how serious Israel is about its threats to attack. Even so, the White House has signaled it would approve of whatever Israel decides to do, even if Israel ends up sparking a regional war or even drags the United States into the fray. The existence of US war plans for Iran suggests it wouldn't take much for Israeli attacks to draw the United States into yet another disastrous war, particularly if Iran retaliates, particularly if it winds up killing Americans in the process, whether intentionally or not. If I had plans here to smash up Tim Pool's studio, like, would you think, oh, I wonder if, like, they're going to smash up Tim Pool's studio? Oh, no. Who gave you that? You shouldn't even have been looking in that box by Tim Pool smash up his studio plans. That's between me, the fascist conspiracy theorist pig. Go and smash up Tim Pool's studio. We're doing this to protect you from Tim Pool. Any such war will be a calamity, not just for innocent Iranians. Who cares about them? But around the world, further destabilizing oil prices and adding to the economic havoc of the war in Ukraine.
They're in the break room, so you have access.
While potentially creating the conditions for a much bigger and more dangerous confrontation. Iran's deepening alliance with Russia, after all, could draw Moscow into the war, turning the country into the second front of a global proxy battle between two nuclear superpowers, the United States and Russia, while adding a third nuclear power, Israel, into the volatile mix. Woohoo! Do you know what this situation needs? Diplomacy, ongoing negotiations, clear, cool heads, and a willingness to look at humanity and the spiritual world as a whole. Yes, all of that. But also Israel and their nuclear weapons. We're not nearly there yet, but it's incumbent on all peace-loving people in the United States to work now proactively to stop this scenario from coming to pass, not just to ensure the past year's record about illegal wars, imperialism, human rights, and international law isn't mere hollow, cynical posturing, but to prevent even more needless death and suffering. Unfortunately, what seems like collective disinterest in the US-Israeli march to war in the press and otherwise doesn't bode well for these efforts. So why are MSNBC, in this instance in the form of Rachel Maddow, saying, we can't show you Donald Trump, it's too dangerous. We have a news organization, have a responsibility. Trump could swear, he could say something crazy and maybe even amusing that'll make you like him too much. Is that a more significant priority than bringing on people that have financial ties to Lockheed Martin and Raytheon to advocate for and agitate for war with China over Taiwan, with Russia in a proxy war, in my view, over Ukraine, and potentially Iran over as yet to be determined issue they'll just make up? What could have more negative impact on your life, on the planet? Is it wars with faraway lands that are frankly none of our goddamn business? Or is it the easy charisma of Donald Trump and his ability to somehow reach people and make them believe that he might be part of the solution? So what you clearly have is a mainstream media that wants just enough Trump to keep us interested, but not enough Trump to take away votes from their war-loving, hypocritical, censoring, surveilling, lying affiliates in Washington. If they cared about dangerous information, they wouldn't put on shills for the military-industrial complex and call it the news. But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the chat. See you in a second. What fantastic points I made just then about the news cycle. This is a good time for me to remind you, if you're watching us on Rumble, and of course you are, that if you become a member of our locals community, you can watch these conversations absolutely live. I might be talking to Eckhart Tolle, I might be talking to Vandana Shiva, I might be talking to Jordan Peterson or RFK or Marianne Williamson. And if you want to join us live, you can by becoming a member of the locals community. Just press the red button on your screen now and sign up. You'll also get access to weekly meditations and a whole host of other valuable assets that bring you deeper into this community, because I believe that independent media has a role to play beyond conveying information. Let's face it, the mainstream media is curating information and creating propaganda. So independent media has to become a movement. We have to create an axis where spirituality, activism, personal and collective awakening all alloy into a glorious new, I'm going to say obelisk rather than phallus, of change and transition. And I'm very excited to meet one participant in that, in some ways very much a child of lockdown. It's Adrienne Mishler, better known as Yoga with Adrienne, which is an interesting name, but nevertheless, we aspire after Adrienne in so much as she has created an online community showing hundreds of free videos with over 12 million, is it 12 million YouTube subscribers worldwide? Thank you very much. And if you've got a question for Adrienne, let me know in the chat. And guys over there in the gallery, highlight the questions and just bring them to me in an unfussy way and present them to me. Adrienne, thank you so much for joining us.
Hi there. Thank you for having me.
It's good to see you again.
Likewise.
The first point I want to make is that you are, in a sense, a creation of lockdown. I don't mean that you are a grim Frankenstein figure, a result of a terrible laboratory accident. Allegedly. More that you came to prominence and popularity during the lockdown period because many people necessarily, understandably and wisely sought solace in yoga during that time. When you began your channel, how did you imagine it might go? What were your intentions and how do you deal with it now that it's become a very significant cultural movement?
The funny thing is, there's Benji going to his spot. He knows. He's like, oh, this is where I belong for this conversation. The funny thing is, we started the channel in 2012. I think a lot of people may not know that or realize that the channel is over 10 years full. And I met my partner in the channel, Chris Sharp, on the movie set of a film that he had co-written and was directing. And I was acting playing the role of Polly in a punk rock band of 3 women, naturally. And so we really enjoyed working together, and I was already devoted to being a yoga teacher and practicing yoga. I was a theater artist from a very young age. So it kind of started from the kind of passion project space that one has as a creative person. And I think that's the real blessing of the whole bit, is if we had set out to start a business or a channel that reached millions, it would have been tough because it's really hard to be yourself, believe it or not. So the fact that we were like low stakes, starting this as a passion project, hoping to make a little bit of extra money, maybe to make some movies, that was the original intention. In 2015, we did the first 30-day yoga journey in January. And I think that's when things started to really pick up and we realized, wow, we can really help people here and make this more accessible.
My assumption is that if you practice a lot of yoga, a lot of mindfulness, a lot of meditation, it cannot but change you. I don't see yoga as a sort of ancillary to the New Age movement that can sometimes seem, by its very nature, somewhat traditionless and rootless. I see it as a way to cultivate a different type of awareness, conquering the constant corroding inner activity, the endless and nagging thoughts that sometimes won't leave me alone. And I was very curious to learn that since we last spoke, and I hope this is an unrelated subject, you've been recovering from panic and anxiety disorder. How can you have suffered from that when you are a yogi? Doesn't it sort of somehow protect you from that? Because I know a lot of people watching this right now will be suffering from anxiety. Let me know in the chat. I'm looking at you guys, Sensitive Hearts 25. I'm looking at you all. Let me know if you've suffered from anxiety disorders and panic, and if yoga is one of the things that you guys are going to. So were you surprised and concerned, and has it shaken your faith in the ability of yoga and comparable techniques to help you deal with those kind of things?
Yes, I'm so glad you brought this up because for many, many moons, I was quiet about my experience with anxiety and panic because of the very thing you mentioned, because to me, it was so astonishing that yoga with Adrienne, like this ridiculousness of how could I get so hard hit with nervous system breakdown? And all I can say is that I'm finally in a place where my nervous system can actually say,
when would you be able to come in for an interview?
Is a serious subject for us to tend to our nervous system and to consider all the parts that contribute to nervous system balance, and hormones. That's like,
could you make it in your
talking
bio?
about the news, like the type of information we intake.
All right, do you know where the office is?
With the pandemic years of 2020 and
317
2021,
West Front Street, Flower
coupled
Mill
with
Building. Just make sure you bring
admittedly
an ID
a personal
and
share, doing a hormone therapy to freeze my eggs.
What's your name?
At my age.
All
The
right.
combination of those
See you at
things
3.
just tip the boat for me.
Yep.
And we all have these moments where the boat tips, and that's when we need to remember that yoga practice is all about showing up with what is. I think we all wanted to show up and be helpers so much so in 2020, 2021, that I just kind of lost track of my own practice, and my body reminded me, we have to come back if we want to be of service. What are people saying about their anxiety?
Young Toast says, Adrian, you truly got me to love yoga. I was never into it because I found it boring, but now I basically need it at least a couple of times a week on my rest day. It makes me get back into my body, which I have a hard time ever doing, especially as an autistic and ADHD adult. I liked it that you said that you took your panic attacks and anxiety as a kind of route back to embodiment. Can you explain that a bit more, please?
Well, you mentioned the word faith. Like, did it kind of allow me to lose faith or garner more faith in yoga? And it scared the shit out of me, because again, I was like, how could this happen? How could I let this get so far away? And part of it is like, I did do some hormone therapy, but the world is a crazy
No food in the
place.
locker. There is a place
so
in the
much
break room for that.
using this ancient practice to get back to the interior. And remember that the roots of yoga, right, are deeply rooted in spirituality. So and it doesn't mean religion. That doesn't mean one thing over another, but it is a connection back to yourself, right? And the opportunity, this vocabulary to connect to something bigger than yourself, maybe the divine. And so I feel like, if anything, it was, I can't believe I'm saying this, but this is how I feel. I believe this. It was a reminder from the divine of like what this practice is and what I can do to help communicate and share the depth of that, like what I can do to communicate that to more people moving forward, especially after the pandemic, where so many of us came to it for mental health and physical well-being.
Fascinating that you talk about access to the divine. If you're watching us now on Rumble, join us on Locals. Press the red button. That gives you the opportunity to join these chats live. And also, exclusively, after we finish streaming on Rumble, we'll be on Locals. And me and Yoga, not me and Yoga, me and Adrienne, aka Yoga with Adrienne, are going to do some yoga. And you're going to talk me through some asanas, some positions. So you can join us for that. But that's only on Locals. So press the red button and join us there. I mean, why are you embarrassed about talking about divinity, Adrian? Because isn't that the whole point of yoga, really, to get past the limitations of the individual mind and access the latent, even unconscious forces that make up the sort of whole of our psyche, and give us, when you come to a point where you're suffering from panic and anxiety, you need a different resource. You need to access something else. You need to visit the edgelands. You need to get beyond the ordinary parameters of your consciousness. Why do you feel embarrassed about talking about divinity like that?
That's a good question. I suppose I'm not embarrassed to talk about divinity. In fact, I feel what I'm really relaying, like, and I can hear myself now, and this is great for me as well, is I'm being reminded of the divinity in this practice in a major way. I think what maybe not so much
I got another interview
but
coming in.
Just the awareness,
over an hour,
attempt at
but
humility of
people, so.
not wanting to just blatantly be like, and this experience reminded me I am the chosen one to communicate divinity through yoga to the people in this day and age. I didn't want to make that sort of statement, but I love that you asked me that, because I think now is the time to stop being afraid of talking about the spirituality in the way I feel compelled to. For so many years, I wanted to make this practice, and I still continue to want to make this practice accessible, but I wanted it to be so inclusive, so easy to drop in for so many different types of people over the world, that I was very careful about the way I included the spirituality. And I think since 2020, 2021, I'm like, this practice is deeply rooted in spirituality. It makes sense to come back to that and remind people of that.
People need spirituality now because the material world and its institutions are beginning to fail people. I don't mean that nature is failing people, but it's become plain in the last few years that we're in some seismic shift. It's the end of a particular era, the birth of something new. I'm glad to hear you admit that you don't see yourself as the Lady Christ of online yoga, but there are a lot of comments here that seem to countenance a claim that you aren't willing to make, or rather support that claim. Listen to some of this. Firstly, Claude says, Adrian, have you got any advice for aspiring yoga teachers? We'll answer that over on Locals. Press the red button. You can join us there if you want to hear the answer to that question. But look at this. Look at all this praise. Bordering on hysteria, Adrian. SuBiz22. I've been with Adrian on YouTube long before lockdown. I fell in love with her immediately because of her purity and her incredible authenticity. Marcy Sova, Sova Mama 1, says, she saved my life. Thank you, Russell, for acknowledging this amazing young woman. Tajimo, looking forward to this. I found out about Adrian from your last interview. I've been doing yoga with her since. I love Adrian's yoga channel. That's it. And then Zashe says, nice, let's do some yoga together. I've suffered from major depressive disorder, says CCS Ranch, and Adrian has helped me with that. Thanks all of you for those positive comments. Adrian, has that, in stark contradiction to the principles of yoga and spirituality everywhere, made you feel a deep sense of vanity, narcissism, and personal power?
No, not at all. In fact, it again, just, it is a true gift to get feedback at all, right? And I think that it feels good. It's positive feedback. And it mostly, this sounds so like cliche and like lip service, but it restores my faith in so many ways to just hear people have that connection, because you have to remember if not almost all of what I do, I give away for free. So people can pause it, they can stop it. They don't have to do it. They don't have to take my crappy humor. I mean, Benji's cute, so I'd log in for that any day. But there's so many opportunities to do something for yourself in this setting, and the fact that anyone would choose to do it with me, and they would finish, and then they would come back when there's no money, I'm not there like challenging people. To me, that's pretty heroic. And I think I mentioned this last time we chatted. Like, to me, to be able to show up and do something with a beginning, middle, and end for yourself, without an audience, without anyone watching you, without giving any money in exchange, it's pretty amazing. So if anything, I'm just like happy to hear it.
Carry on our conversation, Adrian, with your permission, on Local. So if you're watching us on Rumble, press the red button and join us now. I see your Benji, who is compliantly on that mat, almost like a chimpanzee from Mary Chipperfield's circus, doubtless whooped into shape by a life of constant cruelty. And now my dog Bear is going to join us. We let Bear in the studio. We're going to do yoga not only with Adrian, but with our recalcitrant hounds. Here comes Bear. Let's look at Bear. Come in here, mate. There he is. Look at that. There's Bear. Will be joining us for yoga. So it'll be me, Adrian, Benji, and Bear. Join us on Locals. In addition to yoga with Adrian, plus our K9 accomplices, you also get exclusive access to interviews with RFK Jr., Richard Dawkins, a whole host of things, meditations, podcasts, so much stuff, as well as my live festival community, which you should be coming to, Adrian, in all honesty, between the 14th and 17th of July. Hey on why. What are you doing? Where are you right now?
I'm in Washington State. So out of the Texas heat, I'm from Austin, and I am in Washington State, and it's a beautiful, drizzly morning here.
Come England, we'll pay you to be at Community. We've got a fantastic show tomorrow. We've got Simon Jordan, who's a social pontificator, football expert, and some say the most important and radical voice in the world's game since Brian Clough. Join us for a fantastic conversation around sport and the culture and business of sport. That's going to be fantastic. But now, if you're on Locals, you can join me and Adrian. We're going to do some yoga with our dogs. What's that going to be like? It's going to be weird, isn't it? Join us tomorrow, not for more of the same. Oh, no, but for more of the different. Until then, stay free. Press the red button. Join us on Locals. We're going to do yoga right now.
Switch on, switch on, switch on. Men switch in, switch on, switch on. Men switch in, switch on, switch on. Men switch in, switch on, switch on.
All right, switch over to Flex.
Are you stopping people and asking for money and stuff? Okay, well, I guess we've gotten calls from multiple people saying you're stopping people from entering the store and asking for money and stuff. Are you guys both together?
Oh, no, we're not gay.
No,
we're not gay. It's gay Pride Month, but I ain't gay today.
You can search me. I don't have any money in the pot.
No, don't. He has the pot on.
Do you have IDs on you or anything?
Yeah, I got a D.
What's your name?
Oh, I go by Billy D.
Yeah, what's your actual name?
Well, Billy D. That's what I go by.
What's your actual name?
I'm a grower, not a shower. Well, I do both, but then people laugh at me and they're like, what the hell? And I say, get the hell out of here. Stop making fun of me. I do have a small wiener. I don't care. I told people that before. I don't care.
So you guys can't stop people.
Well, what about the free speech, though?
I mean, free speech.
the First Amendment?
You can't ask for anything. You can say whatever
So what
you
if
want.
I asked you, like, can I have some of your meat in your pants? I have some in my pants. It's gay pride, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking for, like, protein. Well, I'm asking for like dead meat that's been cooked, if that makes sense.
Request.
I have some in my pants though.
I don't really care to see it, so.
Oh, do you want to taste it though? Well, today's a holiday. Why? I didn't know that until I came out here and a black guy flipped me off. I was like, what the hell? He said reparations. And I said, dude, look at me. I have a sign. I'm an investigative journalist myself. I'm an investigator. I know what to do. It's a panhandling. I don't have a pan. I'll let you pull my pants down and search it if you need to, but
I don't really care to see that.
that's fine. There's not much to see, let's be honest. Tase her. Tase that woman. Tase that woman. Tase her. Tase her.
It's really nice if you could just take that nonsense.
Whoa. Whoa. What is she doing?
Officer Crack, reporting for duty. We got a new video. That's right. New video alert, new video alert. So what we did in this video is a bit different. And yes, if you didn't know, I am a police officer now. If you guys didn't know, Special Ed Division. But today's video is going to be a little bit different. Today, we used a hidden camera and we posed as a homeless nerd. And guess what? We had a sign out there, folks. We had a sign. I'll show you. If you have poverty eye vision or you're a nerd that wears bifocals, you probably can't see what this sign says. But it says, clearly, change, please. But look in the middle. It says your attitude. So we were outside with our little sign, looking like poor ass nerds. And we'll find out if they respected our rights or if they were dumbass nerds. Officer Buttcrack, BCNN. Enjoy this one, folks. Plenty more videos coming your way. So this whole time, you'll notice they have no idea they're being recorded. Hidden camera, baby. Hidden cameras expose the truth. And we here at BCNN will spread those cheeks straight down the crack. From the moon to Uranus, we will find the truth. BCNN, real news only. I'm Lieutenant Michelle Garish. I'm wearing my badge. I think I'm tough, but I'm a bitch. Hey, make sure to like this video. Hey, leave a comment. Make sure if you haven't yet, subscribe, you stupid idiot.
Did you have your own direct deposit you wanted to use?
You're going to have to get turned into cat food. I'll put him in the habit. Make it a system. His life is in your hands. His life is in your hands.
Not really sick.
Look at him.
Because
I will make her eat him.
beginning of April,
No, don't make this happen.
tornado winds flying everywhere. So my checking went into a mess.
Do you want Big Mama sausage?
It's fixed now.
It's good for the heart.
They shut it down.
Would you care for a Big Mama sausage? Oh, it's good for you though if you need it later. Hey, I'll be having it. Just let me know. Big Mama sausage. You ever have one? They're pretty good.
No, they didn't. They took theirs.
And beef, just the way I like it. Have a good day.
A couple days to get the remainder.
Hey, have a great holiday. It's my favorite holiday today. Signature salad. House salad costs plus salad $6.90. House salad. I got a Big Mama sausage. Would you care for one? Oh, I don't need money. It just says change your attitude.
What?
It's not you. You're being nice, but it says change your attitude, please.
Oh,
Hey,
I just got a Big Mama sausage.
Now that you won't be able to activate that till your first 20 days.
Thanks for the kindness in your heart. My hips hurt. I got hip bursitis. Well, we're trying to start that out. Yeah, but we're trying to start the Bohemian Rhapsody.
No, it's every week. That's
Okay, so it'll be.
And now you got a Big Mama sausage, so you're set.
I'm not sure how they're going to schedule around this thing. I know I'm taking.
Hey, I would have gave you a Big Mama sausage, but I just gave it away. So they're pretty good. You can get them at the local Dollar General. So okay, have a good one. Happy holidays to everybody. So I gave away my Big Mama sausage. Hey, you only get one sausage?
So it's how much now?
Oh, I don't need money. I'm set. I'm actually a millionaire. You're out here.
stolen. You owe me 500 if I know it. The thief lives in town.
I'll max them out.
They won't do nothing.
It's a good day today.
I might have to take.
No, I'm fine. You're good to go. You know, I need to find change myself to get to you. Yeah, you got a lot of coke.
My son, my teenager, I have a teenager.
They love coke. I do too when I was that age. I used to just pound coke nonstop. I got into that habit. I don't care. I'm down.
It's targeting this too, so.
He was drinking like 7 Coke a day, like 4 or 5 boxes of Little Debbie.
That's perfect. I love to hear it. That's what I like to hear.
He was actually kidnapped for a year.
Oh, what the hell? No, I'm set. I'm set.
Oh, yeah, for the donuts.
Stop at 4.
The donuts. Yes.
I can be here by 7. I'm up by 5. Like, I need to do something.
Well, great meeting you.
Hey, have a great day. Oh, you're welcome. Hey, happy holidays.
Hey,
Did you break in?
what? Nope.
You steal stuff?
Nope. Actually, I called you, actually. So,
What the hell? They're calling on you? What'd you do?
What did I do?
He's a criminal.
They knew I had a little pot or something on there?
So are you
Everybody
stopping, stopping people and asking for money and stuff?
No. Me? I'm a millionaire.
Okay, well, I guess we've gotten calls from multiple people saying you're stopping people from entering the store and asking for money and stuff.
Oh. Who's lying? Who was it?
I mean, we've got 2 separate calls from 2 separate people
Oh,
saying
so
the same thing.
So you could reload the taser and tase both of them for lying.
Yeah.
I would do it. And hey, get you free
I want
chance.
sloppy seconds.
Are you guys both together? I assume?
Oh no, we're not gay.
No.
No,
We're not gay. It's gay Pride Month, but I ain't gay today.
Are you guys, as in, like, together asking for money like that?
Oh no.
No?
No.
So it's just you have to.
You can search me. I don't have any money in the pot.
No, don't. He has a pot on. But it's decriminalized in this state. It doesn't matter. I got coke on me. That's decriminalized. It's all about the amount you have.
I don't think it was ever.
Not really in Iowa, actually. Iowa still.
Well, no, Grinnell. They passed something like last month.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well,
May 14th.
Yeah. No. Iowa code. You can't have anything like that. So there's nothing that's decriminalized.
No little pot.
So.
Yeah, we can just use it ourselves as long as we ain't selling it.
Yeah, that's still.
I don't think you could sell it. I don't think you could sell it.
You can't have anything. Can't have even on you. So. You have IDs on you or anything?
No, I have a D.
ID?
Yeah, I got a D.
Identification card, driver's license, or anything?
Oh no, I don't drive.
Okay. You don't have any identification card though?
No. Well, I have a press pass.
Okay. Can I see that then at least?
If it's in my pants. It didn't get laminated. I fucked up.
What's your name?
Oh, I go by Billy D.
Yeah, what's your actual name?
Yeah, it's pretty normal for this desktop view. I mean, we're not really running into cops or anything.
Hold on, I know your name. Jonathan Cuppy.
No, Jacob.
Jacob?
Yep.
I have a friend named Jacob. I grew up with him. He kind of looks like you, but he's taller. He's like 6'3".
Okay, I'm pretty short, so.
Oh, you ain't that short. You're probably, what, 5'9"? Yeah, that's fine. That's average, I think, in America.
I mean, it's average, but.
Well, people would like I was about to say that. I'm a grower, not a shower. Well, I do both, but then people laugh at me, and they're like, what the hell? And I say, get the hell out of here. Stop making fun of me. We're all humans here. Like, you should have a moral stability with every human you meet. Like, you don't got to make fun of them and make fun of their small wiener. I do have a small wiener. I don't care. I told people that before. I don't care.
So are you guys live in town?
I was actually looking to move here. By the way, I am a millionaire, believe it or not.
Looks like it.
Yeah. I mean, I got a little bit of mud on my shirt, but I got a sign. I got tattoos. I have fingernails.
So you guys don't live in town then? Where do you guys live?
Well, I'm still looking to find a place to live.
So you guys are homeless then, I assume?
Well, I wouldn't say homeless. I would say richless.
Well, if you guys-
Except we're super rich, actually.
Yeah. Well, you know what homeless means? It means you don't have a home, so if you're still looking to find a home.
Well, no, I have homes. I have multiple. But, like, which would you call your home, though, if you have many? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I could be, like, California, Toledo,
Well, if you don't call
Tulsa.
you don't call any of them home. right?
Oh,
You have
that's
houses,
true.
but you're homeless, so.
Okay, that's true. Okay. I'm homeless and shit. I don't call them home. I didn't put here's my home, welcome home.
Yep.
It's my house.
So you guys can't stop people. If they want to come up to you and give you money, that's something else.
Yeah.
But you guys can't stop anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't
Especially-
stop anybody. I want people to buy me some jewelry, so I ain't gonna stop them and be like, hey, don't come in here.
It'd be a city ordinance.
Oh.
So if you go out in the county, you can do whatever the hell you want. But in town, there's city ordinances against that.
So it's against stopping specifically?
Basically asking for something. So if you're there,
But what about the free speech, though?
don't need free speech.
the First Amendment? Like, you could be like,
I understand, but you can't ask for anything. You can say whatever.
so what
you
if I
want.
asked you, like, can I have some of your meat in your pants? I have some in my pants.
Yeah.
It's gay pride, but that's not what I'm asking. I'm asking for, like, protein. Well, I'm asking for, like, dead meat that's been cooked, if that makes
That's an odd
sense.
request.
I have some in my pants, though.
I don't really care to see it. So
Do you want to taste it, though?
cool.
Venison.
Good stuff.
It's actual, it's venison. Venison meat, Bambi meat.
Sometimes you just get.
Bambi's a boy.
Well, so you guys don't have any names or anything?
Well, Billy B.
I mean, last name, actual last name.
Butt crack.
Yeah, so
No, I'm serious.
No actual last name.
No.
Well, I'm actually changing my name. I'm not even kidding. It's going to be butt crack. I
It's
swear.
not right now.
Well, not yet. Well, today's a holiday is why. I didn't know that until I came out here and the black guy flipped me off. I was like, what the hell? He said reparations. And I said, dude, look at me. I have a sign. I'm an investigative journalist myself. I'm an investigator. I know what to do.
Yeah.
Yin and yang, yin and yang.
The yen, they don't convert to U.S. dollars.
Oh, dollars.
Yeah,
Yen to
that's where you get
dollar.
the millionaire part.
Yeah. So you can probably sell one of your houses if you have so many of them.
Well, yeah, but then I'll lose a place to sleep if I want to go back. Right now, I mean, I've came back and there's been 2 homeless nerds fucking in my house. I was like, what the fuck? And I just left.
Not me.
Hey, that's us.
Panhandling.
Panhandling. I don't have a pan.
It's on the surface. We didn't have no money in.
I'll let you pull my pants down and search if you need to, but
I don't really. care to see that. So.
No, that's fine. Because there's not much to see. Let's be honest. I'm being honest. I'm a man of my word. You know. Yeah, at least I'm not a liar. You know what happened actually? I gave a Big Mama sausage away. You know what Big Mama sausage is?
No, but that's also what they were saying too. That's technically soliciting. You need a permit for that too.
Oh, so no one's allowed to like give anything to anybody in this
No,
town?
people were saying you were saying, hey, give me change, I'll give
No,
you.
I never said that word. Who said that? Tase her. Tase that woman. Tase that woman. Tase her. Tase her.
It's really nice if you could just take that nonsense.
Whoa.
Whoa. Away from
What is she doing?
I don't want this
What
in
the-
the store. I want it away from
Whoa.
the store. Because I don't want my customers
But
to
you
be
don't
in
own
and
the
out.
sidewalk.
I do not. No, that's
No.
city property.
Which is public
I want
property.
it to be taken care of away from the store so my customers can come in and out.
Yeah, they can.
In and out without somebody like this.
So without looking at people you think's poor.
Tell her. She doesn't seem to. You guys just told me that you can say whatever you want. Why can't she say whatever she wants?
She can, but that's a false police call. What she did's a crime.
She said that she was just would like you guys to leave.
Yeah.
If we could just not stand in front of the store, we would appreciate
We're
it.
not gonna block egress or entrance ways, but you guys being Karens is not a good look.
Oh, I'm not worried about looking like Karen.
Oh, why are you shaking?
Oh, honey, I have trimmers. I do this 24/7.
Whoa, what the heck?
Do you want to get into my medical?
That's a scary movie.
You need to go on.
You need to go on. Please, please.
Will you please ask them not to stand in front of our store?
This is America.
Thank you.
We're not gonna block anything. You deal with these Karens all the time? That's just insane. These Karens, golly. They're naughty. They're nasty.
So are you guys gonna move or no?
Nah, not anymore. Because I mean, I'll probably have to get out the big equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Remember, I said I'm a millionaire, so I'm going to take out my $20,000.
I thought it was a different currency though. It's a different currency. So
Well, yeah, but it converts yen to dollars. Converts. I mean, I don't even know how much yen I got, but you can convert it.
Okay, that's odd. Okay.
But I mean, one thing I'll let you know, I ain't gonna be no one's gonna be locked in any way or make an obstacle
That's all we
anyway.
got called for. Is you were stopping everybody that was going in and out of the
It's,
business.
I mean, it's free speech.
I'm not arresting you guys.
Yeah, I would have ran too. I'm pretty fast.
You can't list people for there's listings.
Well, yeah, but the ordinance is unconstitutional.
I've been watching the media and everything. I'm not gonna be one of those cops that.
Good. Yeah, just honor your oath is what we're looking for. I mean, if you respect the Constitution, respect our rights, because I might have yen, but they want this to just be bought by yen. They want this just Chinese our rights stripped away, and that ain't cool, not in America. Hello. There she is. What is she doing? Uh-oh. Unhinged, un-American, unhinged.
Damn
No
dirty.
one's even
I am
coming
going to
in
play
here
that video though. It is flex.
I see him. Happy Juneteenth. Oh, she's getting spicy.
So we tell you guys you can't go in their store. They don't want you in their store. So
Yeah, I mean, I was.
as long as you want to stay in their store.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't planning on it.
Okay, but you have anything else from me?
Yeah, just do me a favor and check out Springport Read for Tom Gilbert.
Well, this listing, so that whole hot dog situation, you can't do that.
Well, you can.
You can offer.
I asked him if you want a big mom.
You're not selling it. You're not selling it.
Yeah.
Well, that's what two of them in there are saying.
You can.
So,
Somebody that's in there that has it. He gave it to her.
No, I understand. So the whole soliciting permit thing, the city ordinance, would be from her complaint. So she told me that you guys asked her for money for that hot dog meter thing. So I'm not going to do anything about it because it's a he said, she said type of thing.
Yeah, that's.
But I'm just saying that would be the soliciting. Would be, hey, I'll give you this for 2 cents. That you'd have a permit.
You said panhandle. Panhandle, you just asked.
So there used to be city ordinance. I'm not. That's why I'm not actually telling you. I'm not demanding your IDs for that. I'm not saying you can't do that. I was more hear about this listing and then the suspicious person and all that in. So I'm not doing anything about that. I just came here to, I guess, basically investigate what is actually happening. So.
That's fair. That's fair.
We're not making false police. Nobody cares.
Yeah, no one cares
You
about that.
can't really prove that either. I mean, again, he said she.
Well, I can though.
Yeah.
Everything's been recorded from before and to now, so it's like I could prove it. But
I don't know why she said that.
yeah, I mean, I don't know either. I think they're just triggered. They probably hate poor people outside their business.
I don't know.
Well, that's probably what it is, because we look poor, but we're super rich. Like, it's one of those things, you know?
Yeah. I don't think they seem, I don't know, they're the generation that doesn't, I don't know if it's even a generational thing. It doesn't look like they type to go on their phones much. Like, I watch the internet a lot, so I see these type of things, so I'm not gonna actually do anything about it. But they're the type to see two people in a small town Grinnell.
Yeah.
It's not like
Just ignorance, kind of on their behalf.
It's not like small town Grinnell for you guys to stand out here talking to people. Usually everybody knows each other and stuff like that. So I think that is one of the reasons they call it. It very well could have been you're poor and you're standing outside of their dealers, or I don't know.
Well, at least they learned something today that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
All right, man. Have a good one.
We've been trespassed without ever going in.
And it's sad.
Police reports are here.
She's pissed. She's pissed. She hates people that look poor. Why do people buy jewelry? I think that's the biggest waste of money. Like, buy something cool, not lame ass rocks.
I got the cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star in this life, now I'm living
The hell?
Baby, I'm bad. I just want to get caught up in this life. I'm crazy, I'm mad. Doing no cap. Only God wants you, better go live it up. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Baby, I'm bad. Baby, I'm bad.
I just wanna stay mad, chip on my shoulder, cause they treat me like an outcast.
Like a beaver.
I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, brave that.
Come here, Cinnamon.
Help me.
Come here, Cinnamon.
Like I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause something, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's name, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better.
Ocean Gate Expeditions offers you the once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to be a specially trained crew member safely diving to the Titanic wreckage site. Get ready for what Jules Verne could only imagine, a 12,500-foot journey to the bottom of the sea. It's the Ocean Gate Titanic experience. Earning raves from those who've taken our unforgettable dives.
There's no other trip like this. Fewer people have been to Titanic than have been to space.
It's tougher to go to the bottom of the ocean than it is to the far side of the moon. We saw things that maybe human eyes have never seen before.
Wow. This is not a thrill ride for tourists. It's much more. It is an 8-day, one-of-a-kind experience. The 2022 Ocean Gate Expedition will transcend adventure and make you a partner in scientific discovery. You will be trained as a mission specialist and record valuable findings.
A citizen scientist is also involved in the science. They are doing jobs
It
that
costs,
are
what, 16 million,
essential
14
to
million?
the scientific research, not just busy work. We are looking at the process of degradation at the site. We are trying to make a really good map of the site and its current state.
This is not tourism. You're contributing.
It's not a ride at Disney. You know, there's a lot of real risk involved and there's a lot of challenges.
We partnered with aerospace experts at the University of Washington, NASA, and Boeing on the design of our hull.
Every time you take to the sea, there's so many things that have to go right. All the electrical systems and navigation systems that have to check out. This is a very complex vehicle.
Tighten topside, you are out at 130 meters. We are in position for the dive.
It's very well engineered and very safe. But
$250,000.
And the team is very focused on safety first.
The communication is really key, I think, knowing that they never lost communication.
Not 1 second of me experiencing anything from Ocean Gate have I ever felt unsafe.
As I pointed out on the bridge earlier, your safety plans all around the vessel.
All mission specialists get to dive down to the Titanic, but the full experience entails much more. It begins with boarding day in picturesque St. John's, Newfoundland. Mission specialists meet each other in the Ocean Gate team. Then there's a tour of the state-of-the-art surface vessel. A ship's officer shows the specialists their private cabins.
Hey, buddy. Good to finally see you.
Already well stocked for their needs, including an array of customized personal gear.
Make yourselves at home while you're on board.
Meals in the food hall brought everyone together with our guest archaeologists, biologists, Titanic historians, and NASA scientists, as well as Ocean Gate team members and ship's crew.
And food has been amazing.
Everybody here instantly became family. And that's something that you take away for life.
Prep starts before dawn with initial safety checks, reviewing assignments, and gearing up. Then comes the pre-launch briefing, followed by boarding the Titan. Inside the surface vessel is Command Central. There, OceanGate operatives and specialists not diving that day are guided by the mission director before countdown to launch.
Roger, platform ready to dive.
Mission directors go for platform launch.
This was actually my very first time. That was the first time that I'd been inside a sub, and it was really kind of a wonderful experience.
And you know you are in the deep, but you don't feel it.
So it's your big
The
day.
deep sheet.
It's my big day. How you feeling?
Risk analyst.
To softly land like that with just a little puff of
Murphy
debris
still has a
was
job.
movie-like. It was sort of dramatic in front
Another
of you
risk
playing out, and
analyst.
it was breathtaking.
At
So
least
it's
here's
very
Rob Johnson
emotional.
now.
For mission specialists not aboard the Titan sub, there's a full calendar of things to do.
This looks fun.
Lectures,
Monday?
screenings, tours of the ship's vast resources, including the
No.
engine rooms and recovery apparatus. Maybe best of
Oh,
all
okay.
are the
No, I mean,
one-on-one
like I said,
with
just
experts
for
like
talking to her
Commander
on the phone
Paul
yesterday, I
Henri
was like,
Nargelet,
I got
leader
one
of
from
30
tomorrow, I think.
dives to the Titanic wreck site. He and other world-class experts will be on all our missions to
Yep.
give you an unrivaled, up-close and personal OceanGate Titanic experience.
The sub for me
Was there a
is
good way to
very
die?
well done because it's simple. Generally, they have a lot of
I
equipment
think an
and
implosion
a lot
would
of
be
switch.
pretty quick.
And on this
Even-
one, you
even
don't
if they
have
ran out of
because you
oxygen.
work with a screen and with a
It's sweet.
keyboard, and it's very easy to do that.
Does look like
You
a
are not
Wienermobile,
only a
though.
passenger sit and waiting that the time is
It's
running
just like it.
and just looking outside. You
They
can
just
do
painted it
something
white and
inside.
said,
You
let's
can
put it
be,
underwater.
really a member of the team, and that's great.
Even
30
after a
plus missions.
successful dive, there is much to be done. A key element is the debrief session led by the mission director and subsea pilot. Simultaneously, the OceanGate tech team does an extensive safety check for the next dive. Excitement,
They're saying they replaced
thrills,
a bunch of them.
and adventure on the
beforehand,
high
though,
seas.
from woke crew
I
members.
just loved every minute of it.
It has exceeded anything I thought it could ever be. Titanic is the ultimate dream.
I mean, this is definitely probably one of the most unique, interesting things I've ever done. Even going to, I've been to Everest, but this is more unique.
This was the dream come true. But as I look back, this will no doubt be the best experience of my entire life.
Come join us on our next expedition. Don't miss the opportunity to be part of history. The OceanGate Titanic experience. There's truly nothing else like it.
You would hope it was either like a catastrophic thing, though, that just it died instantly. Yeah, sign up today.
All right, my friends. Hello, hello. It is a beautiful morning, some places afternoon. I'm very grateful that you've joined us on this beautiful Thursday. The week is coming to a close. We had a fun one yesterday. We still have some comments to attend to on that one because we were skidding out of time yesterday on the show. But we've got some of those comments. We want to see what Joe Biden's doing today. He was meeting with the Prime Minister of India. We've got a sub update, not looking good for the submarine. And then we'll poke around and see what else is happening in the schedule, see what's happening over on Congress.
He's in Arizona.
And so on and so forth. But yesterday, it was a fun show because I don't know.
Yep, sorry.
But we had some fun comments on that because we had Durham afterwards, and Bonnie we picked up yesterday on the show, wrapping up, running out of time. we talked about what good is what good is a censure really, and she says it would be nice to remove him from Congress. And I don't know if you can do that. Can you stop somebody from speaking in Congress? I mean, what are they doing with Santos? But they're actually charging him with crimes, right? So it's kind of a little bit of a different deal there. Yeah, the Biden DOJ, of course, is not going to be charging.
It's still early up there, though.
Shifty ship with anything.
Yeah, he was guilty.
We had this one from NY Renal MD. Says Dems minimize the Durham prosecution because of, quote, no conviction. Well, that's because they have that detail handled with sympathetic DC juries. Yeah, and there was a plea deal, and it was a minor deal, and that's what Matt Gaetz was really upset about. And we remember this. I mean, we covered the Michael Sussman trial at length, and it was a disappointing show, to be honest. Trey Gowdy sent a letter to Mueller's team to retain documents. The team hard reset their phones. That's spoliation of evidence. Nothing happened. Republicans need to get smart. They need sound bites that survive their censorship. Should be short and sweet. They simply need to say the Democrats use the government at every level to weaponize against the people. They cheat at monopoly in every way. They will wiretap you, fine you, jail you. Yeah, I think it's beyond just, election stuff. It's way broader than that. They'll cheat at sports. They'll cheat at property. They'll cheat at business. They'll get better loans. They'll cheat in education. They'll cheat in schools. They will cheat. And you use that language, literally cheat and bully. Bully is another good one I really like. They will cheat and bully you because it invokes that childhood feel. Everybody hates a bully. Nobody likes a bully, and nobody likes cheaters. And that's really what it all is. It's just kind of cheating around the margins because they don't like the outcomes. So they want to adjust the conclusion. Durham was selected because he was retiring. Trump trusted Barr to take care of this. Nowadays, I'm not surprised we got the report that the Democrats wanted. Good comment from NY. JC says, as we saw with the ruling on the Arizona Lake trial, where the judge said the law doesn't technically say how long to check signatures and only said to check. Same thing applies to people like Durham. If he said he operated within a defined scope, then the scope must be 1,000 pages and spell out every single little technicality that says exactly how to investigate. If the scope says only investigate the issue, he will take liberty to interpret that as he sees fit. Exactly right. Exactly right, Jeremy. And this is why we were keeping close tabs on what Jack Smith, special counsel, is doing with the Trump saga, because he has a very, very broad mandate. Essentially, he can kind of do whatever he wants. And it was supposed to be about January 6th. And basically everything that happened after the election, after November 4th, is how we interpreted it. But then it looks like he's going beyond that, because these tentacles can go as far as you want them to go. And so it felt like almost a throwaway. Jeremy says, I believe the gist of the Durham inquiry was prosecutors prosecuting prosecutors over prosecuting a prosecutor for prosecuting prosecutors. Yeah, that's exactly right. And they're investigating themselves. They really like to investigate themselves. They investigate themselves hard. They investigate themselves thoroughly. They investigate themselves with total ethical concern. And the investigation shows that the investigators have been properly investigated. And the conclusion is there was nothing to investigate in the first place. I like it. Another one from Anti-Fragile. Bonnie's in the house. Says, did they ever revamp the crack cocaine versus powder cocaine sentence guidelines that punish black people so hard? I know they were working on it. Well, yeah, I mean, the crack, just to parse that out a little bit, the crack cocaine mandatory sentencings were for everybody. They weren't specifically targeted for African American people. That drug just happened to be going through those communities, at high incidents. And I know you know that. I'm just being clear here. It says, I know they were working on it. And yeah, so my understanding was that a lot of these were federal guidelines that then got, carried down into the states. So, in Arizona, for example, our laws are not federal laws. So like the 1994 crime bill didn't set all of the laws for all of the states, but it set guidelines. And if you wanted that federal government money, then your state laws would come up to the federal standards, and you would inherit a lot of those mandates, kind of like what we do with speed limits, for example, right? They come through, they say, hey, if you want that Department of Transportation money, you're going to raise your speed limits to our limits, and then everybody raises their speed limits, and that's why we have uniformity. Not because the government has the power to tell you what speed limit you have to run at, but because if you don't comply with that, they'll just take your money away, and you have to pay into the money. You have to pay into the coffer. So if you want some of that back, you'll do what they say. So same type of concept. Now, that doesn't mean all the states did everything exactly like that, and some laws have changed, right? So they probably did that. Like in Arizona, our laws really shifted to meth. Okay, so crack cocaine is really not a big thing anymore. It's meth now. So we have very harsh meth laws. So in other words, you would get in Arizona, you would get for other types of drugs, first offense drugs that are not meth. There's different penalties. If you have meth, it's an aggravator penalty. It's actually much worse offense, much harsher penalties. So, I don't know how that comports with all of the other states, but it's a similar type of framework. It's a similar, they just substituted crack cocaine with meth now. And the laws are dynamic because there's 50 states and they can do whatever they want. But as long as they're within certain federal guidelines and frameworks, then I think that they're all still getting that money. So hopefully that makes sense. So yeah, my answer to that is yes. I'm sure these rules were changed and modified and adjusted in all the various states. But meth is a big problem now. And we also have another comment in here from it's Jake from Oxford. Hey, I saw a story about Jake today. Jake, I thought you were on a plane, man. Aren't you going over to try to convince the rest of the world to not dump the dollar? I think that's what you're doing. You're going over to hang out with the BRICS folks. Pretty sure that's where you're going today, Jake. Yeah, you are. U.S. National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan this weekend is attending a Ukraine-organized meeting this weekend. Gosh, Jake's going over to hang out with Ukraine, alongside representatives of multiple countries, going to Copenhagen, EU. Oh, and then unannounced meeting could include officials from India, Brazil, South Africa. Yeah. Those three states, along with China, are part of the BRICS bloc with Russia and have not joined the West in sanctioning Moscow. Oh, look, there's Jake. Oh, Jake, man, you look terrible. All right. The Financial Times cited a source that Kyiv had asked Washington to encourage India, Brazil, BRICS countries, South Africa, China, and Turkey to attend. Prime Minister Modi is going to be there as well. And we've got Joe Biden. We have a fun clip of him. So here, Jake yesterday said, I want everyone to plant this image in their mind. This is exactly what happens. Whenever you mention myself and Queen Hillary in the same sentence, she is the most amazing woman ever. I am obviously saying this because I believe it, not because if I do not, I will delete myself by accidentally executing myself in the back with a shotgun 18 times, then setting myself on fire while skydiving without a parachute, obviously. Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I've seen a couple stories like that. Not exactly that scenario, but several people in close proximity to Hillary, I believe. So Jake, it's a valid concern. Obviously.
Yeah, that zip code is supposed to be.
Obviously, you would never do that. But it's weird. A couple things like weird accidents have happened in the Hillary Clinton proximity. Yeah. Yeah, I think some guy, kind of hung himself with his hands tied behind his back, upside down, while he was shot multiple times in the back with multiple weapons from several different angles, also in the front, with multiple shell casings lying in the meadow. Cops show up. They're like, wow, this is crazy. This is what, have you ever seen a suicide like this? No, never. Well, all right, suicide. Let's call it. So it's a strange ordeal. Good luck to you, Jake Sullivan. Good luck over there with Ukraine. Say hello to Zelensky for us. Miguel Labra says, I vote we censure Get in Their Faces next. Maxine Waters or Eric Holder. The adults in charge all of a sudden seem like crybabies. What a wonderful day. Like some justice seems like, from our friend Miguel. And I think I saw Miguel had a birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, Miguel. I think I saw that yesterday. Dan Slick says, January 6th is my birthday. Don't take that away from me. Well, yeah, we now have a new insurrection. We have January 21st as well, which is Insurrection Day for all of us. And Jigam, drop this one, says we were cheated. When the House approves the censure measure with a majority vote, the measure member being censured must stand in the well of the House and read the resolution aloud. That's what I thought. I thought we were waiting for that. That's what I thought. I mean, I was like hanging out. I thought they were taking a break and going to come back and read the rest of the resolution. And they didn't do that. What does the censure do? A vote to censure another member does not hold any member beyond the public condemning of the behavior, does not expel or deny any rights or privileges, but it can have a powerful psychological effect on the member, threaten the relationships they have. The House website notes a censure marks deep disapproval, publicly known, but doesn't warrant an expulsion. Also doesn't remove him from the committees, but stripping a member could be an additional punishment to the censure. I mean, they were rallying around him. I don't think they care at all. And you know what? Honestly, when they get the House back, they're going to start censuring people back and forth. It's not even going to be a thing, right? This is the new way. And the Republicans should also be prosecuting them too. Sabdi says, bald guy reference who is sitting behind Durham is Yvonne Rakelin, a constitutional attorney. He has a Twitter account and a Substack as well. That's good to know. Yeah, that's why he was nodding along. He's like, yeah, get him, Gates. The Vez says, hold Ray in contempt of Congress. So sick of this. However, my hope is in the Lord, and I know God has overcome the world. He has this. Each day that passes is a day closer to Jesus coming for his children. Hallelujah. I cannot wait for this glorious day. Ray might be next. We know that they're not complying with any of their documents. And Woodchip Bill says, good afternoon, everybody. Nice to be here and out of this insanity for a while. It's good to see you, Bill. And that was from yesterday, my friends, on the Censure Show. So that was getting us caught up. And let's see who we have in attendance here this beautiful morning. See who's over on the YouTube house. We got Rye B's here. Garrett's in the house. Frezio. Keister Bunny. Isn't that Jake from State Farm? I don't know. Is there a Jake from State Farm? We got Voice of the People. Dr. No Name's here. Political Mom is in the house. Adesi is here. Jigam Geegam. Nathan's here. Was that the part where the people were shouting shame, shame? Yeah, that was the Democrats. That was them rallying around Adam Schiff. They were, encircling him and calling the Republicans shameful. Jigam's here. Mr. Brownstone went to a meeting. Have a good meeting. Kay Tyler's in the house. It's about a moral compass, says Jigam. Zach says, yeah, it's only cheating if you get caught. Suga's here. Says, Jeremy, I learned about writing specific instructions when working on parenting plans. Unfortunately, if you aren't very specific, people will find the exceptions. Yeah, I went through a lot of this building a law firm. A lot of that is very important. And when I was early in business, I went through an exercise once where I think we had to explain to another group how to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, like write it out. It's complicated, like literally. That's a complicated process, right? And somebody would say, somebody would start somewhere. They'd say, okay, you get the bread. And then the person would challenge that. Well, where's the bread come from? Okay, you get the bread from the cabinet. Where's the cabinet? Oh, gosh. Where is it in the cabinet? Do I just look around for it, or where is it? Okay, so I got the bread. Now what do I do with it? Well, you have to take it out. Well, how do I take it out? I mean, there's this little twisty tie on it and all the stuff, and then it just starts aggravating everybody. So put peanut butter on the bread. You go, where's the peanut butter? And how do I? It's just like this big thing, and you really realize how in depth you've got to be when you're doing these scalability projects. It's like, how does Google and Amazon coordinate 100,000 people every day? Systems, man. Really, really good systems. So We got W. Daisy Girl Williams in the house. Jia Zhang, Pam Roning's here. Former LEO's in the house. And so today, let's take a look at the schedule and see what is percolating out there. Now, we know that Joe Biden is doing something today, and there was a little bit of an incident this morning, apparently. 10 a.m., he was meeting with the Prime Minister Modi of the Republic of India. Bilateral meeting with them, India, all the way to 6:30. Photo opportunity, India, and Elon was just over there. And then they've got something tonight after the dinner with India. Now, something happened, and Joe Biden's getting a little bit skewered on this one. Yeah, here he is. RNC Research posted this. Biden, alongside Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, slowly lowers his hand from his heart after he realized they're not playing the American national anthem. That's the Indian national anthem. Up there it goes. Oop, doop, doop. Nobody's going to notice. Put your hand down. Oh, this poor guy. All right, here it is. You know, it's an honest mistake. But what would you do? What would you do there? I think I'd just hold it. You just got to hold it at that point, right? Yeah, man. I love India. This is what we do in America, baby. I don't know. What do you do? I don't know that's the right move. Or maybe it's a fast removal. You just go, oh, or like you acknowledge it, oh, you know, and then put your hand down. I think the worst thing to do is to say nobody's going to notice a slow. I don't know. Okay, Brian Clark says, yeah, you just keep it there. Frezio says, this isn't bad. At least he didn't fall down the stairs again. Don Wyndham is in the house. Good morning. Maynard got gifted a membership saying thank you to whoever gifted me a membo. Yeah, maybe it's just heartburn. Jigam's got a good one. Cough. Yeah. Cough. Just go. And then put your hand down. Right. Pretend you have an itch. Right. It's right here. Just go, oh, yeah. One of these. Yeah, but his face is not looking good. And I actually, you know, he's I don't know what's going on with him, but he did not look good either. I had this other clip that I've got pulled up for the show when we get to that later tonight. Do I have this one saved? Yeah. So here was another clip. We're going to see this one again tonight, but here he is in the Oval Office. I mean, that is like a frowny face. And it's Mr. President. How is Hunter feeling? Biden gives a thumb up. It's because Hunter took a plea deal, man. He's depressed. His son took a plea. Or he's going to take a plea, guilty plea.
How's Hunter feeling?
Yeah, it's stressful, you know, when the smartest man you know has been lying to you. And your son's taking a plea deal. So, not ideal. But that's what the president is doing. We've got some stuff in India today. Let's see what we've got over on C-SPAN on the schedule. We've got an East Palestine hearing. Senate's in session. Let's see what the House is up to. Benny Thompson is holding a hearing. All right, so that's not live. That was just session one.
No.
I thought that was live,
The whole
but
thing is
apparently
shady.
not. Jerome Towell
Chopper
is testifying. The Senate's in session. This is live. Oh, repeal the firearm stabilizing braces rule. 43 yes. Interesting. So they're voting on something over there. Let's take a look at the actual committee schedule to see what's on the docket today. It is Thursday, beautiful Thursday. So House, Senate Armed Services, House Homeland Security, Artificial Intelligence in the House. We're looking to see what the Senate was doing. Banking, finance, transportation, appropriations, foreign relations. Yeah, it's a busy day today. The House Judiciary was meeting again today. Clemency, hearing on compliance with the Oversight Committee. I wonder if that's going to be any good. So, in other words, wondering why they're not getting data back. Okay, so that could be interesting. Benny Thompson, President Biden, and then they're going to have the dinner and all of the other things. We haven't really seen much from Karine lately. I was hoping to get some Karine action so that we could get some questions about Hunter Biden. I really want to know what the White House has to say about the guilty plea beyond that just thumbs up that we got from Joe. Yeah, and there's some other Hunter news. He apparently was kicked out of a sex club in LA. Are you shocked about that? For being a creep? No, I'm not shocked about that. I don't think most people are. So we've got that. Let's take a look at the Trump docket and see. There was some headlines that I saw floating around out there. And let's grab this case. Looks like we might have a, okay, cool. All right, so we left off last time, remember, with the omnibus order. So this was the court document, the order that gave us the dates, all the scheduling of the trial, which is going to be for August 14th, which is soon, like this year. And I think that is right before, what did they say? A debate or a vote? It's like right in the middle of, you know, something important with the election happening. So that's where we left off on it. And then we also saw the order for limiting the disclosure of the discovery. So a protective order. The judge granted this, and we read through this previously on the show as well. And this is the one that I was irritated about because it basically limited the defense and didn't limit or make any, you know, imposition on the government. Now, a lot of the people responding to that are just saying, well, it's the government. They're prosecutors. They swear oaths, you know, and they never disclose anything. It's part of their job and all this stuff. And you go, okay, well, why are they leaking all the time then? Okay. The courts just give them the benefit of the doubt for some reason, even though they're the side that leaks. They issue these protective orders for the defense. Defense counsel shall store the discovery materials in a manner with labels. They've got to follow the judge's rules. And it's like, wait a minute. Why do defense attorneys get picked on? Why don't they make these same rules also applicable to all the people working on the government's case? Defense counsel shall keep a copy of each agreement. And remember, this was the one where the discovery materials shall not be copied or reproduced. And even Trump is not allowed to keep copies of his notes. So Trump can't keep copies of his police report, which is just like nuts. You know, when I was practicing representing clients, I would give them copies of their police reports. I would say, hey, we're going to review this together, and you need to review this on your own. And actually, immediately after the incident, I would advise them, start taking notes on some of this stuff for me that you're going to share with me while it's fresh in your mind. Because we want them to know what is being said about them. And then they typically will come back and they'll say, this is not true. This is not true. This is not true. This is not true. Because they've had time to review it, think it over, mull it over. It's an important part of your case. Anyways, Trump can't take a copy of anything. He may take notes, but guess what? he can't take a copy of his notes either. Do you think that applies to the prosecutors? No, of course not. They can take their, I'm sure they can take their notes around. They've got tons of people working on this case. They probably go out to dinner and talk about it with their files at their hand. You know, it's a joke. All right. So none of this stuff shall be disclosed to the public or the news media. Again, I'm reading this as being applicable to the defense, but they say no disclosure to the public without prior notice. Now, again, the government continually leaks this crap. That's where we get most of our news. It's like, wow, okay, is this happening? How do we know? Oh, sources from the New York Times. How do they know? I don't know. Probably a phone call with Jack Smith. So we get that. Now, we've gone through all of that. Then we see the trial setting order. Then we get a notice of appearance. So we get another prosecutor who jumps onto the case. And let's see who this person is. Michael Thacker. So he's prosecuted for a while, Florida bar. Looks like he helped prosecute this case. June 2022. And I wanted to see, there he is, Thacker, Southern District of Florida. National Security Division. All right. Export control. So he's been down there in Florida, and looks like he previously worked on another Russian agent case. All right. So that's who that is. So he jumped onto the case as well. And then we have, this is the first response to the standing discovery order, which we may go through. Oh, man. All right. So I got to log into Pacer and all that stuff. All right. I'll dig that up later. But first response to the standing discovery order. So what I'm guessing this is going to say, I'll pull this up probably for the show. We'll probably do a maybe a short Trump update today. But some disclosure is going over, meaning they're getting some of the files. Now, remember, a lot of this was not classified, like not declassified, not previously classified and claimed to be declassified, just not classified. And then Trump had a response to some of this today. And then I saw another headline that people were thinking that Mark Meadows, people in Trump's team are thinking that it's Mark Meadows who actually flipped and changed sides. So we might do a quick Trump update today as well. Yeah, I'm not sure. We'll see what else pops up today. Jeegum's here. Says it would be nice to discuss updates on Julian Assange. Well, I don't really have much. I mean, I have his case. We are following his case on the docket. So let me just see. Let me see if there's any activity on that. The last we checked, it was just at warrant status. But let's see. I mean, they're going through stuff in the UK, but I thought I had this easily accessible. Maybe I do not. No, that's not it. He's got a lot of cases. And then they consolidated a bunch of them. Let's see what this one is. Yeah, okay, so I think this is it. Yeah. This is the one here where he got issued an arrest warrant June 24th. Wow, almost like to the day, 3 years ago. Arrest warrant issued in the case of Julian Assange. then it's been basically on hold. We had a filing in March. He's in the UK right now, and I think they're working through. What is his status? I thought he just lost an appeal. When he comes back, that warrant will be quashed, and then there will be a lot of activity on that case. Yeah, I saw this, I think.
Or as Bob would say, squashed.
Britain is planning to extradite him. WikiLeaks founder faces charges under the Espionage Act. Amnesty International condemned Britain's planned extradition. And then as soon as he comes back, that warrant is going to be quashed. So I guess we got to know what the status of his extradition is. This came over from Yahoo. He's one step closer to American prison. He lost his extradition appeal. Now his lawyers say he's previously spent 7 years. That was from June 9th. WikiLeaks published thousands of articles. This week's appeal rejection by the UK High Court was the latest. According to a ruling seen by CNN, nothing was valid. Dramatic few years. WikiLeaks founder who's forced out of Ecuador's embassy. UK judge rejected his extradition request. So what happens now? Her husband is going to make a renewed appeal next week, which I guess is happening right now. Then his case will be discussed in a public hearing with 2 new judges. We're still optimistic that he's not going to be extradited. So it's just kind of on hold until the UK does something with him. So let's see what the latest from Stella is. Any updates from her? Not seeing anything really update.
Should be a press conference about the sub in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, so it's hard to know. I really don't know what is going on with it. I would guess at some point he's coming back here, and then when he does come back here, the warrant will be quashed and we'll get a lot more activity on it. Now this is interesting. This looks like this guy John Young wrote a letter in to say, please charge me also. I respectfully ask that the DOJ, he wants to be added as a co-defendant. Okay, so this guy wants to also be charged. He says, please charge me too. Hi.
That's great.
I'm an administrator of this website. I'm a U.S. citizen. Charge me too. To be added as a co-defendant. Well, okay. That's all right. He wants to be charged. Here's his attachment.
Bitcoin just went over 30K.
He says, my website has published a ton of this stuff. I've never had an order to remove any of this from the FBI or the Secret Service. They've stated that this is not illegal. So therefore, please charge me also. Sincerely, John Young. Amazing. Not many people often ask to be charged with crimes, but he has. So this is Michael Thacker, who got added to the Trump prosecution. We've got Stella says supporters say this would be a blow. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it should be a wild case when it comes back. And honestly, I was wondering for some time why why maybe they have not come back. You know, I think that like a day in court here might be a good thing for him, especially now. Like the country has shifted pretty dramatically. The trust in these intelligence agencies is so shattered that he might have a fair shake, you know, although not in DC, obviously, which is where that case came out of? No, this one's out of the Eastern District of Virginia. Which is basically DC, right? The same general area, but it's not the DC circuit. So, yeah, it should be a fun one to review. I mean, not good for Julian Assange or for America, but good for Julian Assange. I also pulled this one up. So apparently we ran out of oxygen.
Really?
On that sub, which is a terrible tragedy. And so prayers to those who have been lost, presumably. But on Twitter, Mario posted, debris has been found by the U.S. Coast Guard near the Titanic wreckage. Looks like the carbon fiber hull of the submersible imploded. Killed everyone instantly, maybe. Bad news, everyone's dead. Hearts go out to friends and family. Yeah. Good news is, while this isn't really good news, it's a relief. Hopefully they all died instantly rather than suffocating over days. Yeah, I mean, there was some really morbid conversations happening yesterday about, you know, the amount of oxygen that was left on this thing. And they were just sort of counting down the hours. It's like, man, could you imagine just being stuck at the bottom of the ocean, just counting down the hours of oxygen you have left to breathe? Terrible. So
Damn, she got fucking pantsed by the cops and shit. I've never seen anybody get pantsed by the police. That's what this title is gonna be, pantsed by the police. Shit, they used to only pants people during pranks. No, they called a female cop to come in and search her house. Okay, I know he just came in a little bit late. But... Oh, she's gonna be a cop too. Explorer. So did I. No, she's not a social worker. She's a future cop, guys.
Yes,
this guy here.
You had some good ones last night during that panel too, Matt. I gotta say.
Stared at me, trying to intimidate me, and that shit bounced right off me like fucking bullets on Superman and shit. Intimidation failed.
I'll be right back, guys.
That's a lot of shit, guys. guys. Thank you all for being here.
It's I'm not sure I can, without offending, say
Yeah,
that
bro.
the name of the wax. My wife got me a little light bulb wax because I can't really have open flames. It's called both of these nuts. It's a banana nut bread.
Yum. That sounds really
Yeah.
good.
Favorite backroom? Garcia was the female cop here. Her badge number is what?
Can I help you?
1373.
I'm good.
Oh, really? So the lady didn't want to give up her name, and she asked the cops that, aren't you supposed to be searching me at the department?
No, it's here in Monroe. Yeah. You're welcome. Yeah, that was enjoyable watching you go into all your soccer accounts last night, Aiden. Hi, how can I help you? Well, we do most of it electronically. No. I mean, yeah, we do it on the computer, and then there's some paperwork too.
Fucking
This
comments are
position
acting
requires a
hella
little
weird, guys.
food safety.
They were doing that shit
thing that we go
yesterday.
through.
Comments, they were acting weird, and Midwest Accountability said the same thing. His comments were acting weird too.
Oh, it was for her?
I don't know if this guy,
for me. Okay. Oh, so you want to sit down and go through it? I mean, that's how it is. That's the way we do it.
Kind of weird. Yeah, the chat's acting weird, guys. You guys can probably see it better than I can, but that shit's not acting.
It says this building's 150 years old, so it's people didn't used to be as tall as they are now. Hey, have a seat at that computer right there. Do you have your ID and stuff
How you
with you?
doing, man?
Yeah, go ahead. No rush. Don't. ID and social or birth certificate. Yep.
So I guess they were originally here for one of the other homeless ladies that was right here because I guess she got hot or passed out or something. And then that lady right there, I don't know. She looked like she was probably the one that was like passing out. So I told him I was like, it's probably her because she doesn't look too good. So then I guess they had to talk with her. And,
Wood apes?
I guess she was just being disruptive or something. I don't really know. I wasn't here when it was happening. I was on my break, so I don't know.
It's right. It's called an I-9. Can't have no foreigners taking up water jobs. Build that wall and I won't ask for ID.
Yeah, this is all the time. Eat my fingers.
Yeah, I like those.
I got Christopher's.
That's my channel. These are my sons, bro. You'll find all of us
from earlier today. Cops easily get baited into breaking the law.
Yeah. I know. I like that since half the time.
I think he's moving a lot.
Keep your eye on the road, lady. You're about to fucking crash. Can't help but lick them boots and boom. You guys get a chance to smash that like button. Thank you, bro. I try to keep mine educational and respectful, you know.
Because, like I was saying, a lot of people they get my job and their job, they just don't really understand how to talk to people.
Right.
It's sad, but
yeah, I feel like we open up a dialogue, we get to talk about things and understand people.
people's minds and expand their horizons to not be that.
No, I appreciate you, bro.
It's not this building. It's
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah.
You worked out there before?
Yeah. Thank you, bro. You too.
Okay. Yeah, it's where
people out here appreciating this.
And there's two shifts. There's a first shift. It goes
He
from
was a
5
cool
a.m.
security guard, but I didn't really like the fact that he kind of admitted to pointing the cops in the woman's direction. She wasn't doing anything. She just kind of looked out of it, tired, and started asking her questions, I guess. And they ended up arresting her.
They're 10-hour shifts. Yeah, so it's 4 days.
They messed up, I guess.
And then actually starting Monday.
This is how Bakersfield, California is cleaning up the streets, I guess. Fucking snatching up homeless folks.
Yeah, it starts Monday.
I have no idea. I have no idea.
Lots of different food products. This building is just a mix plant. Where they mix all the ingredients together and they ship them over to the big more modern facility for packaging and stuff.
I think her name is Michaela.
Yeah, because they want to send you your direct deposit form and stuff through that. So something you'll be able to get to.
Pretty hot that building, or no?
No.
No, I had a job.
No, it's much more modern. It's climate controlled in there. Yeah. No, it does. I mean, you don't want to be on having to do some type of labor job is one thing, but when you're sweating on top of it, that can make it difficult. In fact, they just added a big unit here too. That huge AC unit out front covers half the front lawn. But I think that's more about food safety than anything. Just making sure it doesn't get too hot or humid back there, especially with flour and stuff. And plus, the more humidity there is, the higher the chance of insects and stuff. Yeah.
Hey, mind if I
Nobody
get
wants
your badge
bugs
number right quick?
1451.
1451? Yep. Mind if I ask what she was arrested for?
Well, yeah, we were flagged down for trespassing. She refused to leave. Then she refused to give me her information. So at this point,
I'm sorry? Monroe. It's OH Monroe.
Hey, I asked one cop
part of the Ohio
one
region.
question. Every cop that I encounter, you don't have to answer it, but you can because it's not a political, it's not an opinion. But you have to know the First Amendment, the 5 points of the First Amendment, the Constitution.
Yep, I absolutely do.
Would you state it for the camera? Because we have a high percentage of cops that won't do it. Not that. Michaela, you're gonna be a cop? No. You're not gonna be a cop? Okay, you're just.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. That cop right there, he seems to always have a good attitude. He identified properly. He said that there was a trespassing complaint. They asked her to leave. She didn't want to, so they tried to identify her. She didn't want to give up her name, so they arrested her. And that's what we got, folks. Those of you who are asking about Bay Area transparency, he's good, guys.
It's the computer. The internet's nice and fast here, but that computer is a dinosaur.
Not so often, not like every day, like I do
Rice
Krispie and other folks, but we do talk and we just kind of, talk about things and try to help each other out in any way we can. But Bay Area transparency is good, guys. For those who are asking, he's good. So, anyways, we're done here, guys. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. Shout out San Joaquin Jr., San Joaquin Audits, San Joaquin Cop Watch, aka Nate's K282, and San Joaquin.
Yep. 14. Can you start me at 30 unit? We're at 14. Can you copy at 28? Speed Arizona, William Edward Adam, 5 Sam Adam.
I think the first had the password. Oh, a special character, like an exclamation point or something like that. Yeah, or $sign or something. Yeah.
What are you guys doing at the park after hours?
Yeah, just because there's parts you're going to be able to skip, and I don't want you to have to get into it and then go, oh no, you should have skipped that.
This is still property, Mesa City property.
City property.
It's it's not. It's generally for the older folks. You know,
have your ID on you, man?
like I just take over for them. I'm like, hey, what is this?
This is a parking lot. It's an open parking lot.
Where's the signs at? Not at 14. Can you start a supervisor as well?
It's got to be signed.
Yeah, it's not
well, when you first come in, there's a sign that says that the park closes at 10.
Yeah, the park, not a parking lot. If it was a parking lot, you'd have a gate there.
Did you cross that sign that says that it's city park?
Park. This is a parking lot.
For the park.
Still an open parking lot.
Are you failing to identify yourself?
I don't know what
you guys all have to identify yourselves.
1 second. Let me throw up.
We're not trespassing. That's the problem.
You saw the sign coming in. The park closes at 10 o'clock. Well, it's posted right there.
I wasn't driving when I came in here.
Are you going to provide me with your ID? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Because you are lawfully detained right now, and you have to provide your identification. You have to identify yourself. Because you're trespassing.
Trespassing where?
Yeah, where are we trespassing? You have your ID?
No, I am.
Who are you?
Who am I? You just said what my name is. Nobody's asking me who I am.
So you're not going to provide an identification?
For what?
I already explained to you, man. I'm not going to sit here all night trying to play this game.
That was for the old SMS system. It doesn't even matter what you picked on that. Yeah, no.
What about you guys? You guys have IDs?
Nope. Oh, no worries. No, you came right at 3.
This is the same as the city hall parking lot. I can go fucking park in front of the courthouse, all that.
No. I told her that my next appointment was for 3 o'clock.
It's a public park. It's called Mesa City. They close at 10. There's a sign at the entrance.
That closes the fucking parking lot.
You don't physically have to close the gate. Yeah, it doesn't have to physically be closed. You don't see gates in people's driveways.
This is not private property, you idiot. You guys always use that shit, people's driveways. Yeah, there are gates in people's driveways sometimes. And sometimes there's not. Like
failing to identify yourself when you are lawfully detained.
Lawfully for what?
I just explained to you, man. The entrance to those parks state what time
first
the
shift
parks
goes from
to
5
include
a.m.
the
to
parking lot
3:30 p.m.
are closed.
So somebody's supposed to stop.
And then second shift goes from 3:30 p.m. to 2 a.m.
It's at the entrance, right? It says the park. What is this park for?
Yeah. And this is in general. It does just mean for this job.
What is the parking lot for?
Is basically what they want to know.
For the park.
No, we're not in the park. No, that's subjective.
All right, well, you guys are refusing to identify yourselves, right?
Your words.
I already asked you several times. You're refusing.
I never once said I refused anything. I'm trying to figure out what the hell you're talking
Well,
about.
I already explained to you why you have to identify
what
yourself.
You're talking about. What
Yes,
you're
you
saying
do.
doesn't make sense. Not a supervisor, right?
Yeah, he's on his way.
Uniform is pretty simple. It's just jeans or dicky type work pants, plain white T-shirt, and
you're
you have to have
trespassing, man.
toe shoes or boots.
You're trespassing.
Maybe if I was walking around over there, yeah.
I'm trespassing and sitting in a vehicle? You're fucking dumb, dude.
Like I said, I didn't drive in here. I I didn't drive in here.
Did you fly in here?
Huh?
Did you fly in here? Because the sign's directly at the entrance.
I was a passenger.
Well, the vehicle's here. Whoever drove it, and you guys are all here. You guys are all here.
This is what they do regularly. They roll up on people and say, everybody needs to identify. I don't got to be a motherfucker.
Next on that page as well.
I haven't broken any laws sitting in the vehicle. None of us have broken any laws sitting in the vehicle. To be lawfully detained, you need reasonable, articulable suspicion of a crime.
It's a Mesa City code. You know what a Mesa City code is?
That's not a crime, dumbass.
It's a class 1 misdemeanor to be trespassing on the park.
Yeah, it's what they call work opportunity tax credit. Basically, you're on any kind of in certain categories. You get
Hey.
a lot of businesses
Am I hanging out here in the
just 20 years.
I'll be right back.
I didn't realize that. Let's save money. I had this whole laser jet forever. The 200 car should
All right, gentlemen. All 4 of you guys have to identify yourselves. You guys are lawfully detained in the park after hours. Mesa City Code Violation 6-10-2.8. You're in the park after hours. Are you failing to identify yourself? I already explained to you why you guys are lawfully detained, and you guys have to identify yourselves. Are you guys going to identify yourselves, yes or no?
We're not in a park. Look at that. There's the boundary right there.
Okay, this is the last. If you don't identify yourselves,
Yeah, we haven't been asked to leave. That's the first part of trespassing.
I'm going to issue you guys a citation for being in the park after hours. It's a class 1 misdemeanor. It's a Mesa City Code violation. Are you guys going to identify yourselves, yes or no?
I'll give you my name to go to Florida. My name's Christopher Ruff. Please.
I need to identify all 4 of you guys. What's your identifier?
Write my ticket right now. I want mine first.
Well, I'm issuing 4.
Write my shit first. I want to go.
Where's your ID?
Your names are on the report too. Oh, we got my
There you go.
Christopher Ruff. Christopher Ruff.
November
Christopher Ruff.
5th,
Hey, you don't got to
1984.
tell them that. It's just your true name. That's it. Christopher Ruff. Write it down. Hurry up. Hurry up. Christopher Ruff. CHRIS-TOP-HER.
Where's your ID?
I don't have to give you an ID. It's not. That's not how it works, dumbass. You need to fucking brush up on the laws. You
No, I don't even know
piece of shit, motherfucker. Christopher Ruff. CHRIS-TOP-HER-RUFF. Christopher Ruff. Christopher fucking Ruff. Say it for me. Say it for me. Give me a hard on. Come on. Say it for me. Give me a.
What's your date of birth?
Say me.
What
That's
is
not what
your
the IRS said, you
date
stupid piece
of
of shit.
birth?
True full name. If I'm lawfully detained, I just gave it to you. Go fuck yourself.
What about yours?
I already gave it to you.
What's your last name?
I already gave it to you.
I didn't hear it. What's your last name?
Well, I gave it to you. That's not my fault. You weren't listening.
What is your last
name?
name?
I gave it to you.
What's your last name?
You gave it to him.
You did. I got it recorded too. So.
Yep.
Actually, it's
You're gonna have to repeat it because I didn't hear. Because your buddy over there was talking. Okay.
Say my name.
No, you didn't. Did they identify themselves back there?
I don't want to talk to this guy.
Okay.
You have no name or anything? You have this guy back?
Nope. You have an ID?
Nope. Don't have one.
What's your last name?
How long does it take to get back?
Do you understand you're lawfully detained? What is your name?
We'll do the electronic part, of course. Now that you're in there, I'm gonna pull you up, but
We only got one
have some forms in there.
identify himself. He's
It's like a new way they're starting to get people a job now.
What do you mean?
How they're doing it, like how we get come here to get on the computer.
Yeah, in general, it's been ages since I've seen paper applications anymore.
all right, Mr. Christopher Dane Ruff. This is your citation here. It's for Mesa City Code violation 610-2A. Your court date is March 21st, 2023 at 7:30 in the morning, right? By you signing, it's not admitting court. It's not admitting. It's not admitting guilt.
Fourth Amendment, I don't gotta sign nothing. Right, refuse to sign on there. Hey, I need your card, Papa Guinea. Everyone. I need your card too, Traviso.
Right down here, man.
Yeah, you need to identify. That's not identifying. Your policy says to give me a card or write it down. Your whole
It's written down right here.
No, you have to give it to me. I'm asking you to identify per your policy, not a fucking ticket. Yeah, I need your card. Don't leave. Oh yeah, it's definitely. You want to give me a card? This guy's not going to get a complaint, but you are, and a lawsuit. You don't think so? Watch me file notice of claim on all you motherfuckers. I haven't filed a single lawsuit yet, but I'm waiting for more instances like this to happen. You just walk right into it because you're a stupid fuck. You know that? Drop it in here like a good bitch. That's a good bitch. Now get back in your car.
Now
and go back
you guys
to work.
leave the property, right?
Get back in your car and go back to work, bitch.
Have a good night.
Be a good bitch and go back to work.
It's already on the citation, man.
Go back to work, bitch.
Hey, Jarvis, write your name and badge number on that paper.
You just got owned and you don't even fucking know it yet, bro.
I said to Jarvis.
You don't even know it yet.
There
What
you go,
kind of
man.
car do you drive? Because I'm going to be driving around.
Have a good night. Yep.
It's a scanner. Sorry, I'm on a Zoom too.
Just come back for me, man.
Can't stand up for me, miss.
These Nazis are tormenting our children. Hey, these Nazis are tormenting America's children.
It's okay. It's gonna be okay.
Where are the adults? Where are our veterans? Where are our leaders?
Sir, she's having a
Okay, you're gonna click on where it says employee login. You log back in using the username you created.
Brutalize our kids. They aren't letting this young woman have her dialysis.
She's my sister. I need to calm her down. She's having a panic attack. Excuse me,
They're not
sir.
letting this young woman have her dialysis.
Sir.
These access kids
Sir.
are putting the lives of children at risk.
Excuse me. Its shirt says, "Be gay, do crime." Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. My name's Luke Rudowski here of wearechange.org, and there is just absolute conundrum in the streets of America, as of course everyone just recently became a submarine expert, and it's a little bit annoying, as of course the nation's attention is on this one single issue, all as of course Mark Zuckerberg and Elon Musk have just agreed to a cage match. We're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, plus why there's a lot more important stuff happening that we should be focusing on that we're not all on here on this independent media broadcast. If you like the shirt that I was wearing today, I'm on my travel day. You could get it on thebestpoliticalshirts.com, as of course I am stuck in the crap hole that is known as Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, after of course American Airlines couldn't frickin' refuel their planes fast enough for people to catch their connecting flights. And truly, all the reviews, all the videos, have you seen with the fentanyl laced streets, the crackheads everywhere, the smelly rotten milk smell that you could see through all the videos coming out of this place are absolutely accurate. as I am still stuck here on standby for the foreseeable future. As this video highlighted today probably was from Philadelphia as well, being shared widely and originally uploaded by CashApp. Reading the caption on this young person's shirt that clearly is not meant for a life of crime, even though its Target t-shirt does say that she's all in for it, highlighting yet another clear episode of when keeping it real just goes wrong. This, as it's fair to say that a lot of things are going wrong, especially for American teenagers that, quote, are not enjoying life and are reporting more incidences of depression, anxiety, self-harm, and very serious mental health issues, as highlighted perfectly by our introduction video. Probably someone who most likely is on a vegan diet has been told specifically to eat soy, high fructose corn syrup, seed oils, sucking down on that glyphosate, which has essentially destroyed their entire gut biome, which is responsible for producing the right enough brain chemicals for people to exist as normal human beings. And without those very important chemicals in your gut that your brain needs to run and operate correctly, we have, I think, along with social media, along with the fifth generational warfare, along with the subconscious subliminal propaganda in the entertainment industry, a crisis of mental health, especially when it comes to the youngest people in our society, which we should be taking seriously, should be discussing in a way to try to fix, as these symptoms are progressively getting worse and worse, and everything making them happen are only becoming more and more prevalent in our society. And if you think it's bad now, it's only going to get worse when these young teenagers grow up, as already major American cities are dealing with record crime, record poverty, as of course slums, homeless encampments, and people with substance abuse problems are already extremely prevalent in American society and only going to become more prevalent from here. But don't worry, the U.S. government is stepping in and deciding to act as a regulator and allowing lab-grown fake meat to be put on the market. Yes, if already the food wasn't poisoned enough, almost everywhere you go, almost every supermarket, the majority of the food there has some kind of chemical that usually is banned in other places. To add insult to injury to the American people, U.S. regulators just approved their first ever sale of chicken made from cultivated cells. The nation's first lab-grown meat has been officially approved and sold to the American public, probably made by companies that have some kind of connection to Bill Gates, as these ungodly creations are being produced by a company called Good Meat that is responsible and the same maker of Eat Just, which produces fake eggs filled with seed oils. One of the favorite foods for Sam Bankman-Fried, who lives off of an all-vegan diet, and as you can see here, is absolutely in peak male physical specimen. Shape that shape being round and fat. And we could probably bet with the other seed oil filled products that these products are also probably going to be contaminated, not good for the average human being, and create a plethora of other health related issues that people are going to have to deal with more. Probably, this is just according to my own personal opinion. This, as the clear entitlement and mental health crisis, is broadcasted to us almost every single day on Twitter, with videos like this making the rounds.
Use a translator.
Okay, let's go. Let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadijata Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my head, so today is going to be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic.
Yeah, you tell that old bigoted white lady. As, of course, everyone is entitled and always is expected to get a participation trophy in their moment of egotistical servitude. And with those problems, that's one of the reasons I started LukeUnfiltered.com, my own website, my own platform, where I get to say and do whatever I want. It is midnight right now. I usually do these videos in the morning. I can't. I'm on freaking standby. So I'm going to postpone and not release a members video today, whenever this video comes out, whenever I'm done editing.
Oh, yeah.
Again, I believe in keeping a schedule,
There's
but I
some
will
redundancy, too,
release
right? Give
a
you some
special
papers.
members-only
Pretty
video,
much do the exact
hopefully
same
from
thing.
PorkFest, which hopefully I'm able to attend and get to eventually, which you guys will get later on, not tomorrow, because it's just been a crazy day and I need some sleep.
Okay,
I'm
the
already
new
not
federal
feeling too good.
form.
So apologies for not releasing a
week typically
sponsored video
how we normally-
tomorrow, but you guys will get an extra video in response to this. And this is my pledge. This is my promise. Since of course this is the main thing
Now,
keeping
do you
this
claim any other
media
dependents?
organization up and running. And if it truly wasn't for
Then
your
it's easy.
guys'
You don't do
support,
it.
you guys signing up very quickly, very easily, just
Yeah,
by
if you just-
clicking this
and
button,
if they're
just by
taking too
clicking
much,
the
just let me
description
know. We
right
can-
now and putting in your information,
Hmm.
I would not be able to be here. And I am only here predominantly because of your memberships, because of your
Okay.
support. And that's why I can't
Are
thank
you able
you
to
guys
claim
enough
them
for
on your
being a part
taxes
of
at
this
the end of the year?
independent media organization. And the best way to do that is by signing up to LukeUnfiltered.com.
When I was divorced,
let's
I
talk about
we
the
switched
main
off
focus
years.
of
1 year I could do it,
distraction
1
that
year
everyone
I
is
could do it.
talking
That was
about
in the
on
divorce.
this evening in my hotel room that hopefully no one is next to, so they don't hear me
And I mean,
screaming and
I
going
would
crazy.
claim at
As of
least
course
one, just so
Elon
they're
Musk
not gotten you too
and Mark
bad. You just go
Zuckerberg
get
have
something
talked
back.
about and agreed
do that,
to
put
fighting in
right
a
here,
cage match.
put
Yes, you
2,000.
heard that correctly. As Twitter
one.
CEO
Put
Elon
2,000.
Musk challenged
And then you
jiu-jitsu
just sign
trained
it.
Mark Zuckerberg to a cage match on social media, which
I mean,
Mark
the rest of it's just
Zuckerberg
a
on his
worksheet. It doesn't do
Instagram
anything, so I
responded
don't know
with
why it's
saying,
connected
quote,
to the form,
send
but
me
all the way
location.
to the bottom.
This, as of course the two tech CEOs are rivals, and with how crazy some of them are and how much training Mark Zuckerberg has actually got when it comes to wrestling and grappling. Who knows? This could actually happen,
don't worry about the
it would
license
be
number.
very interesting to
We'll
see,
say
as
yes,
there are a
we
lot of
do, and
reports
then just
saying
put
that
today's
Mark
date, 'cause we don't
Zuckerberg
want you
is
to put a future.
waiting for this to happen, and
The
artificial
22nd.
intelligence isn't waiting, as of course we probably will get a lot of different renditions of what possibly could happen here, and we might get a distraction that's well needed from the absolute
And
insanity
if
in
you're
our
gonna do
modern day
the same for
political
state,
system, as of course
with
as
yourself
Elon
and
Musk
the
and Mark
other dependent,
Zuckerberg
you
could
put
be
it-
fighting each other. It's also important to note here
Sign in
that
box
the
time.
U.S. government is currently fighting you, especially with all the horrible, draconian, double standard actions done by
Yes,
the
so that-
Department of Justice. And no, I'm not just talking about Donald Trump. That, by the way, the U.S. Attorney General just specifically is trying to ignore as the entire issue by literally moving 4,000 miles away and
Well, the
going
ones
to
that say pending review,
Sweden
it just
while
means I have to do
dodging
my portion of
questions
those
about
forms,
this
so
particular
good to go.
political
Oh,
prosecution of
you
the
slide over the
number
gray table
one
there.
political opponent against the current regime in charge. All of this as John Durham just came out and exposed a lot of members of Congress, of the intelligence agencies, of the current regime in charge and power, of specifically ignoring clear violations, clear injustices, and desperate attempts in order to squash a political opponent. And that's not even the biggest case that's worth discussing here, as of course we have to remember that this is the same Department of Justice that still made sure for over 30 years that a Mr. Epstein was hurting children in unspeakable ways. Thousands of children were hurt with your tax dollars, with probably your local banks and local government officials all playing a major role in it, whether on purpose or by accident. As today, we're also finding out that Jeffrey Epstein got tax breaks and, of course, bribed U.S. Virgin Island police officers, as, of course, he was shipping in children to a private island for very powerful people to do whatever they wanted to do with. Sick, disgusting stuff, as, of course, he was tied into a lot of very powerful individuals, prime minister, kings, queens, presidents, CEO heads, JP Morgan executives, Benjamin Netanyahu, Prince Andrew, you name it. All the celebrities, everyone in Hollywood, he knew. This, as of course, the prince in the United Kingdom knowingly lied to everyone, to the media, as there's even new emails highlighting how he lied,
gonna
and
help
he
out a
has
little bit.
still yet to face
Well, I had my boss
even
run
an
that Facebook ad too.
investigation
That's
or
what Fox
interview by the FBI.
Did you check that on the?
Even
Does it ask?
investigate
did-
or
did-
raid
okay, cool.
all of his properties.
They want to make sure
There's
the
still
money
properties
is going
inside
the
of the
right place.
United States that that the FBI refuses
You know what?
to search.
My best
refuses to actually look for any actual evidence of. As of course, it's important to note here, there are still an incredible amount of victims here that have never had justice in this entire saga. As of course, the British police and authorities have even said, no matter what, we don't care. We're not going to be investigating or looking into Prince Andrew, since of course he came out of the womb of the Queen, which is above the law and doesn't have to deal with any repercussions, especially when it comes to her son literally going to private islands to do unspeakable things to children with. Peter Mandelson also looks like he was friends here and involved in some kind of way. So was Larry Nasser. Another major case of absolute criminality from the FBI that, of course, many times either were the most incompetent agents on the face of this earth, or more compellingly, were a part of this larger extortion operation that did very unspeakable things. Now, Ghislaine Maxwell still is in jail and is ratting out fellow prisoners who are not really liking her. And what did you expect here? If that's even her in this particular jail, as of course we have to understand here, there's so much insanity when it comes to this entire case. We still know so little about this entire situation that anything and everything here is actually plausible, as of course the government, the intelligence agencies are still hiding the tapes, the videos, the documents, all the evidence that the American people should see, as there are still very dangerous, bad, powerful people out there walking the streets after they were able to commit some of the most awful actions on the face of the earth on the most innocent people on this planet. How is this allowed? Why is this allowed? That's a question that I think every American needs to be asking. We're in hot water when it comes to YouTube that just demonetized us, but this is an issue that is far more important than any career monetization status, algorithm push. And this is why you are more important than ever, getting this story out there, sharing it with your friends and family members.
It's after 500 hours, which is
That's
about
why we are
about 100 days.
here for over 19 plus years.
Yeah,
as
once
an
if you're showing up every
independent
day,
organization.
they want to hire
I wouldn't be
you.
here
They pay
if it wasn't for
me
you guys
more
actively
if
watching
they
and sharing
pay you
this
to
video.
cut
That's why I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.
But it doesn't. What we make does not affect what you make. So that's always our biggest thing. Once in a while, they will hire someone off the street themselves, but they start them at the same rate. So.
Hello, welcome to today's talk. Now,
if
I was
you're
just
showing up
checking on
every
the
day and you're showing that
CDC
you're
website this morning, and they're still recommending COVID vaccines for
with that.
basically all age groups, including young men. So I wanted to look at the data from Korea, looking at vaccine-related heart disease. And we'll compare that with the data from Denmark as well, because we're fed this mantra all the time that the cases of myocarditis are mild. But we're going to be looking now that some of the cases are by no means mild. And in fact, the first figure we're going to look at says that 19.8% of total cases of vaccine-related myocarditis were actually severe. Now, this is of the cases that were reported, but it's still pretty high. So this idea that it's mild and you can just shake it off is just nonsense. But the idea that myocarditis is mild anyway is, in my view, nonsense. It doesn't tell you anything about long-time sequelae, for example. But let's look at this data, because it's actually pretty interesting. So it's 19.8% of total vaccine-related myocarditis was severe. Now, this is COVID vaccine-related myocarditis.
Yeah, that's if we have
nationwide study.
we don't have
European Heart
bring us
Journal,
permission.
clinical research, so fully peer-reviewed. This is a proper scientific paper with all the
as far as cannabis goes,
all the correct checks on it. It's a nationwide study in Korea. Incidence and outcome of COVID-19 vaccine-related myocarditis.
Come in after a few drinks.
Now, they've looked here at 44 million people. So basically, they've taken into account pretty well everyone who was vaccinated in the country. Now, it doesn't mean to say all of these were reported, of course.
Yeah, if you're
this is
intoxicated,
taking into account
so,
the
yeah,
whole
even if you're hurt, usually they
pretty impressive study. Now, one of the variables here is there may be less myocarditis in Korea because
but if you just come in reeking,
it seems to
you're
me, I have no evidence for this, but I think we
they
do
can let
more
you just-
aspiration of injections than we do in Western countries. So if they're aspirating more vaccines, then that might
I
be
mean, there's
when
too
you
much-
stick it
too many
in and
machines
pull back
and
to
stuff,
make
packaging
sure it's
machines,
vessel.
you
If
could-
they're doing more of that, that could artificially lower the rate. So if you're a Korean nurse or doctor, do let me know because I can't find any information on that. But anyway, we'll look at the data as it is. So large number of people. Clinical course of vaccine-related myocarditis. Now, the diagnosis is confirmed by experts. So they had a group of experts here. And these experts could tap into basically everything, radiology, pathologists, everything you can imagine. So there was at least 7 cardiologists on the panel. So they were able to diagnose this very accurately, and they diagnosed it conservatively. They underdiagnosed rather than overdiagnosed, so as not to confuse it with possible COVID-induced myocardial disease. So they were very cautious about this. So these are really minimum. These are really minimum numbers that we're dealing with here. Now, they found 1,533 presumptive cases that doctors thought this looked like it, but they only confirmed 480. So they were very conservative in the way they recorded it. That's 1.08 per 100,000 people. Incidence was higher in men, of course, as we know with these things. Men 1.35 per 100,000, women 0.82. Males aged 12 to 17, 5.29, so way higher in this adolescent young man, older boy age group. Females over 70 were the lowest incidence, but it was still there, 0.16 per 100,000 persons. Now, the CDC today, I checked on this, COVID vaccine is recommended for everyone aged 6 months and older in the United States for the prevention of COVID-19. This means that despite this data, the Centers for Disease Control are still advising 12 to 17-year-old boys to get COVID vaccines. Now, you might think that's verging on criminal negligence, that they're still recommending this. Why have they not adjusted this, as the data is now incontrovertible? Quite inexplicable tardiness, really, from the Centers for Disease Control there. Very disappointing. Really quite hard to fathom, actually. Now, most of the
I've been hiring for vaccine for about 10 years.
as you would expect, a few more after the second dose.
Yeah,
not so many after the third dose, but still.
Normally my office hours are
Now,
much
compared
earlier.
to other vaccines,
But I'm actually
the vaccine-related
in the evening,
myocarditis,
I'm other facilities
vaccine-related
down
myocarditis after mRNA shots averaged out at
there's an onsite for, like, the first
1.46,
2
more
hours
for
of the
Moderna
shift
and less for
so I can
Pfizer.
welcome the new people
But
that are
the
coming.
Oxford AstraZeneca, for example, was much less. So we have a situation where the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine has been stopped in most countries. That's the adenovirus vector vaccine, much the same as the Johnson & Johnson vaccine in the States has been stopped, and yet that causes much less vaccine-related myocarditis.
You don't
Other
know
side
what
effects,
affects
of course, but not
our white,
vaccine-related myocarditis.
It's all white inside, so you can tell it's gotten
These are the
dirty or
numbers.
not, because you don't want to.
And
no,
the significance between these was definitely
black powder coating.
there.
So
There's only one
paint
chance
the
in
inside of the
1,000
office
that
white,
that's
so you'll know
less
it's
than
dirty.
that this is a genuine finding. Now, Denmark, higher numbers in Denmark. So Denmark, Pfizer vaccine, 1.4 per 100,000. Moderna vaccine, 4.2 per 100,000 in Denmark. So higher incidence of myocarditis in Denmark, especially after the Moderna vaccine.
Yeah, mine was just.
And of course, Moderna are opening sites in the United States, Australia, Canada, United Kingdom to produce huge numbers of new type of Moderna vaccines. That might concern some of you. So that was the Danish data. But anyway, getting back to the study that we're on, the Danish data was within 28 days. So severe vaccine-related myocarditis, 95 cases. As I say, that's 19.8% of the total of vaccine-related myocarditis cases. 85 intensive care missions, 36 cases of fulminant myocarditis. Fulminant means it's really severe disease. That's got a very, 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 very poor outcome. 21 cases required out-of-the-body extracorporeal membrane oxygenation. That's the most. So that's like more significant than ventilation. That's a pretty drastic intervention. 21 more cases of very severe adverse reactions. I'm not allowed to mention the nature of that adverse reaction. But let's just say that people who suffered this adverse reaction are no longer communicating with us. I'm not allowed to tell you what that adverse reaction is, but these people are sadly no longer able to communicate with us in any way.
Anything to do with allergens or allergen materials that they're green?
And 8 out of the 21 were sudden cardiac. SCD stands for sudden cardiac. I'm sorry, that's all I can tell you, but you can work out what I'm talking about. So sudden cardiac deaths, oops, I said it, attributable to vaccine-related myocarditis, proved by autopsy. All cases of SCD attributed to vaccine-related myocarditis were in younger men under 45. No, some were in younger women, but all under the age of 45. One person needed a heart transplant. Moreover, SCD, sudden cardiac, should be closely monitored as a potential FAT consequence. Now, the thing here is there's been a lot of cases of sudden cardiac people being no longer with us around the world, but these weren't checked to see if they were vaccine related. So really, these should be checked to see if they were vaccine related. It's just that in Korea, they did the post-mortem work to look at it, and then they can tell, and they can differentiate between vaccine and they did the autopsy work. They can differentiate between vaccine-induced myocarditis and COVID-induced myocarditis. So, but of course, we just don't seem to bother to do that. But the Koreans are a bit ahead of us on that. Why aren't we doing more of that, you may wonder? Most common presenting symptoms, chest pain, typically 3 days after the vaccine, but 1 to 10 days. And here we actually have a graph that shows it. So these are days. So we can see that most cases are what? The first and second day after the vaccine. Incidence was highest in Moderna, followed by the Pfizer. And as we said, the Johnson & Johnson and the AstraZeneca, much lower rate for the adenovirus vector type vaccines. So Moderna, most cases of vaccine-related myocarditis, then the Pfizer, and then much, much less the adenovirus vector, Johnson & Johnson, AstraZeneca type vaccines. Incidence highest in young men, typically after the first and second dose, and yet the CDC continues to recommend COVID vaccination for this category. How many of the other sudden events that resulted in people no longer being with us, how many of these events around the world were related to this vaccine-related myocarditis? We don't know, because most times this study was not done. But in Korea it was done, and they found it was much more significant, 19.8% of cases being severe. So CDC, time to change your guidelines, I would have thought. Really? Still, the idea that the United States is still advising vaccination for adolescent men with an mRNA vaccine is just incredible. Absolutely incredible. What are you guys up to? We can't say you're wrong, of course, because you're the CDC, but I'm asking what you're up to. Maybe time to get up out of bed, have a cup of coffee and review your guidelines, because some might think you're way out of date. Okay, we'll leave that there. And as always, thank you for watching. I'll just leave you with one reassuring point, though. This is reassuring that this graph here is showing that this is an acute episode. So it looks like if you had no symptoms immediately after the vaccine, and it's now months or a year or more since you had the vaccine, according to this data, your risk for this doesn't appear to exist, because it looks like you've got away with it, basically, because after 42 days, as we see, there was no cases whatsoever.
Yeah.
So a point of reassurance. Other sequelae could be longer term, of course, but this particular one, if you didn't have symptoms at the time, for people that did have symptoms at the time, we don't have data on long-term effects of that, although the British and the American authorities assure it's mild and transitory. If you want to trust the authorities, then that's their view. As always, of course, any questions about your own health, go and see your own doctor, whatever you do. If you're worried about this, take medical advice, please. And and get your situation worked out as well as possible. But for the vast majority of people, it's looking promising after that time period. So there we are. Thank you for watching.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Publica. From the outset, I just want to warn everybody, this video is probably going to turn into a bit of a rant because admittedly, I am in a ranty mood. So things pertaining to women ruffle my feathers all the time, especially with the overemphasis on the transgender movement.
Yeah, I know. I've had
But I
YouTube
saw
Premium
something
for
not too long
years.
ago that really made
Not
me
talking to
angry.
myself.
If you've been here for any length of time, you probably already know much of
Yeah,
my
I've had it for
feelings
years.
towards the modern transgender movement and how, in large part, it dehumanizes women. It basically uses language against us. It removes the emphasis on motherhood
That's all
and
I
other
asked.
things
I'm just gonna
about
scan through
women
real
that
quick,
make
but some
us
is
unique and
obviously not.
interesting. And especially on the front of motherhood,
You even
I
missed the
feel
one-
like this
you
is
got the one that I missed,
100%
correct.
being undermined.
Yeah.
I don't
The
know
blue
if all
brush
of you
question?
saw, but Glamour had
It's kind of a
its
trick
first
question
ever
though, because the blue brush is for the
quote-unquote
machines,
coherent
but the
man on its
conveyor
cover,
belt is
which
a
I
food
just,
contact
like,
surface. So false is
this
the
one just
correct
speaks for
answer.
itself.
Yeah.
So with all of that in mind, it will probably come as no surprise to any of you how
It's
upset
generally
I am with
how it was.
female medical
The
professionals
one,
getting in on
the
this
animal,
action.
or if the
Not too
pouch
long
goes on the
ago,
ground,
a
it goes
doctor
into an
called
animal feed
Dr.
container.
Ahmed Malik, I probably butchered that,
You put trash,
tweeted a
that's-
photo of Dylan Mulvaney and said, "Is this
That's the
person
next.
a woman?"
If
well,
they
you
weren't
can
sending it to a
probably
pig
guess
farm
the
for them to eat
reaction
it,
that
then
that
they
got
would go in
online.
the
But
trash.
more importantly, a
Even though
bunch
it's
of female doctors, and I mean
called
that
an
in the
animal
dual
feed
sense,
container.
in
It's
that
a
they
big
are
red box that
females
says
who happen to be doctors, and also doctors who work on women, responded to the post. One woman called Jennifer Lincoln replied, "OBGYN here,"
Yeah,
and
I
the
mean,
answer
you
is yes.
take it out of
Move
the
on. Stop
wrapper,
spreading
but
hate.
yeah, that-
Ma'am,
at least the
what
animals
are
get to eat
you?
it.
What are you talking about? Another
Mostly it's
person called Michelle Quinn
grain-based
replied
products
similarly.
anyway, so it's-
Gynecologist
The
here.
only other one
The
is
answer
the food in
and
the
you're a
locker.
bigot.
There's a place in the
Not a
break
good
room
look
for
for a
that, so no
physician.
food in the locker.
So it is at this
Other than
juncture,
that, man,
I'm
you
just going to
break.
make note of the fact that
When
I
you wanna
don't
get started?
actually know if Michelle is a female or not. Like, she's written transparent in her Twitter bio, and that either means that she's a trans person who is a parent,
It's Monday through
or
Friday,
the parent
so
of a
it's-
trans child.
Yeah.
And honestly,
Well, okay.
I'm
I have a
probably
ton
not
of
going to
people starting
spend
Monday,
any
so
time
I'm gonna start.
trying to
It's
find
only 4
out.
days, so I'm
Naturally,
gonna
I
start on Tuesday.
responded to this
That way you work Tuesday
very
through
strongly,
Friday.
and I don't
Because
think
the
I'm
next
alone in
week
that.
after that's a
And
holiday
weirdly
week, and you
enough,
guys are
a
gonna
lot
work
of the
Monday, then
replies
Wednesday,
to the
Thursday,
original
Friday anyway,
post were in support of Dylan,
All right.
saying that
All
Dylan
right.
is
So
in
Tuesday?
fact a woman
Yep,
and
Tuesday
one of
next week.
us,
Yes,
which
the
like
27th.
makes me feel like I'm going mad. The thing
You
that's so
could,
important to
if you
me
want to.
about these doctors, these women, is
Let's
that they
just do
work
Tuesday,
with
just
other
Tuesday.
women on
Yeah.
a daily basis.
One other thing
in
though,
fact, their
I am going
whole
to send you that
job
email.
is to keep
It's about
female
our
bodies
insurance.
functioning
If
and
you're not
healthy,
interested in it,
which I honestly think is an
If
incredible
you're not
thing
interested
to
in
do,
it, just
given that
opt
women
out.
carry babies.
But the
and
other
give
one I
birth
wanted
and do
to, I'm
other
going to send
cool
you is
things.
about your direct
And doctors
deposit.
who
You
can
want- is there something
successfully
you want to
help
use for
women
direct
through all
deposit,
of
or
that
do you want to use
are
one of our
pretty
paper?
cool in my opinion. So then to have these doctors who
Yeah, let's just do
exclusively
that to be
work with
safe.
us
If you want to
go
change it
out
anytime,
and
you can. I'll go
deny
ahead and
our
send you that
basic
email anyway.
biology
If you
is
decide to do something
absolutely
else, you can
insane to
plug it
me.
in.
Not only that, and not to be dramatic, but it begs the question if they even respect us at all. In the realm of healthcare, one would expect that patients, regardless of their sex, would receive compassionate and unbiased care. However, how in the world could you expect to give women the care they require if you refuse to acknowledge that men cannot be women? Like, what, you're going to pretend to give them pap smears and other female-specific exams? Like, where is the line on all of this? What's worse is that both
It's
female
definitely not
bodies
like-
and
it's
female-oriented
a much more modern
medicine is
building.
being completely undermined by the modern transgender movement.
usually
Because of this movement, our
they-
basic
usually
understanding of
you
how
start off
female
just, like,
bodies operate and
boxes and
function
take
and
it
are
off and
structured
then
is completely thrown out the window. I covered a story many months back where a nursing school in Edinburgh, Scotland was teaching students that men can give birth through their penises. No, that is not a nursing
Yeah.
school.
It doesn't
Other
take
medical
an hour and a half at the
services
most.
like Britain's
It only took
NHS
us
tried
45
telling
minutes.
nurses to use terms
Feel
like
pretty
chest
good.
feeding and milk of the feeding parent when referring to breastfeeding. Nobody can tell me that doing these things doesn't undermine our health and
Nope.
existence.
No, I just had to make
What
sure I have
adds
the numbers on
insult
the
to
outside.
injury is the fact that you think
What you'll do is
female
your first
doctors
pay
will be
day.
the ones
So if you
advocating
start
for women more than
27,
anyone else. but instead it seems that they're actually the ones leading the charge on our erasure. I don't know how you could go into work every day, work on females, and then turn around and deny the very things that make us unique and special. Women face unique health challenges that require specialized attention, whether it is reproductive health, pregnancy, menopause. Female OBGYNs, with their first-hand experience and understanding, are ideally positioned to provide comprehensive and empathetic care. However, when they deny or dismiss our concerns or outright deny what makes us women, they destroy the ability to address these unique health needs. Female bodies have some amazing capabilities that men simply don't have.
It's Friday.
That's not to say that men
And
don't
if you
have
call me
their
Tuesday or Wednesday,
but going as far as to deny this in order to include men in our
say half my check goes to a
is
card,
just
half my
utter
check goes to the bank.
insanity. It makes me really upset when I see all of this, and it also makes me incredibly disappointed. Not to mention, I can't be the only woman who looks at female doctors and gynecologists and OBGYNs
And if you have any
actually
questions at
questions
all,
not only their
text the highlighted
integrity,
number in the back.
but their ability to treat me
That's the
properly.
best way to
I don't
touch
know
me.
what else to
If I'm in
say
the middle of something, a
besides,
lot of
I
times I'm
mean,
not
these
gonna
women have kind of made their bed, so I guess they should lie in it.
Yep, jeans are fine too. If you need them, they'll have them for you. Turnet, beard net, they'll have that all that for you. Okay? Yep. All right. Well, we're excited to have you. Yep. Dude. That dude was like 7 foot tall. This build, I mean, I'm 6 foot. I'm not 7 foot. Holy crap. Dude was tall. That dude was super tall. I haven't been paying much attention to you guys at all. Is it a Mexican Coca-Cola, Anna? Because those are the best.
Stay tuned because we got to talk about this traffic stop.
Why do you have somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
Well, it's none of your concern, okay?
Well, it's very much my concern. You work for the people, and I'm just observing to try and make sure that nothing untoward's going on. But I think it's a reasonably curious question. Is it normal to put somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
You do need to get off my traffic stop.
No, I don't. I'm just observing.
Either you can leave my scene or both of y'all are going to be arrested.
Police
Okay,
officer
I'm
or
going
not?
to tell you one more time.
Are you going to leave or
You
not?
can either leave right now with your kids in your vehicle.
Okay, so you're threatening my family with force then. Is that what it is?
We're asking you to leave.
Hi, I'm Brian. Welcome back to Here's the Deal. And welcome back to America, where anybody, and I mean anybody, can become the
good,
president
though.
of the United States or a U.S.
this guy was
senator.
at least
Now,
about
I
as
know
tall
this
as
doesn't
Tuck.
have anything to do with my regular
Green
content, but
black dude
you
named
really
Gary
got to check this out.
And now
Junior.
I'm standing next to the president again, next to a collapsed bridge here. God damn. And he is here to commit to work with the governor and the delegation to make sure that we get this fixed quick, fast as well too. This is a president that is committed to infrastructure. Yeah, and then on top of that, the dual kind of a law of the inflation bill that is going to make sure that there's going to be bridges all across like this, all across America getting rebuilt.
American leadership, or should I say rulership, is a joke. Hey, banksters, can't you at least make these puppets look more legitimate? But that's not what this video is about. A big part of what's wrong with America is not the psychopaths who want to rule us, but the leather munchers who want to be ruled. I know we used to call them bootlickers, but it turns out that they're doubling down on their weak-kneed approval of tyranny and all tyrants. And it's making America less American. Leather munchers are those people who don't give a damn about asserting their rights and who let costumed criminals trample on their rights. And they're the ones who criticize other Americans for standing up for their rights. And this guy, Gavin Syme, did just that in this video. He stood up for his rights and for somebody else's rights. A fellow American has been pulled over in Clute, Texas, and Clute, Texas cops are harassing this person. Gavin cares enough about this person to take his time and pull over so he can record police conduct. And he's getting a lot of heat for it in the comment section under his video from guess who? That's right,
leather munchers.
Let's take a look at the interaction and we'll go over some details.
I just was passing through this town. We were heading back to the trailer and was following kind of behind this cop. And I saw him whip around and pull this guy over. Looked like he had a burnout taillight or something when the guy drove by. So I stopped there just to take a look at that and just observing here and doing a little loving of my neighbor. Roll your window up a little bit, honey. You can bring the camera in and make sure that everything's on the up and out. How you doing, sir?
Can I help you?
Well, we're just observing.
Huh?
We're just observing.
Oh, okay.
What's going on here?
All right. That was just a traffic stop.
Why do you have somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
Well, it's none of your concern, okay?
Well, it's very much my concern. You work for the people, and I'm just observing to try and make sure that nothing untoward's going on. But I think it's a reasonably curious question. Is it normal to put somebody in handcuffs for a traffic stop?
That's her business, okay?
Oh, hi, ma'am. How you doing?
No, it's not.
But you do need to get off my traffic stop.
No, I don't. I'm just observing.
Okay, but what I'm telling you is the person that was arrested, it's not any of your business because that's her personal business, what she got arrested for. So it's none of your concern.
No, actually, that's a matter of public record, sir.
Okay.
Okay, well, you can look it up in public record.
Yeah.
Oh, sure. And I can't force you to tell me. I mean, it would be cordial of you to do so. But I'm just observing. I'm not here to interfere. And you guys shouldn't be uncomfortable with being filmed. I mean, it looks like you have body cams yourself, so it's not like you should be uncomfortable.
Well,
Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah. Can we ask you a question? Okay.
You can ask. Yeah.
The reason why we're here right now talking to you is because we're on a traffic stop and you pulled behind us. Okay.
Right.
And we don't know who you are.
Yeah, I'm well behind you. So actually, what's weird to me is that you're on a traffic stop and you're over here talking to me instead of dealing with your traffic stop.
Okay. Well, she's already detained. Okay.
What's your name, sir?
I'm Officer Garcia.
Garcia. I'm Gavin. What's your name, ma'am? Cantrell.
All right.
You're pretty young. Are you new?
All right. You have a good night.
They're getting them young because they can brainwash them easy, right? Now, I wanted you to notice, though, they said, she said, you have to get off my traffic stop. No, I don't. And this is the thing, a little bit of assertiveness goes a long way, right? To be honest, I'm a little bit nervous especially of Texas cops. They have a reputation for being abusive. And look, I mean, I know the Texans get offended by this. I'm not here to pick on Texans. It's simply a fact. Texas cops are notorious for doing things they should not. People will accuse me saying, "Oh, Gavin, you're distracting him." No, not at all. I'm at a safe distance. I'm far less danger to anyone here than they are. And I'm just here to observe. And what I want to encourage all of you guys to do, look, you just stop and watch, right? Just stop and engage. If they talk to you, you talk to them. But you don't have to answer any of their questions. The police in America are completely out of control.
And this is true. The cops in America are out of control.
That's what I
Just
was doing.
recently, this young man was awarded
You guys have
$9.3
seen some of the
million
comments.
simply because a Dearborn,
On my,
Michigan cop
UI
couldn't control himself when the guy was just asking for directions in a White
leather
Castle
meetings.
restaurant after asking the cop for directions. Well, the cop didn't like that, abused his power, and beat this kid. And the taxpayers footed the $9 million bill. Believe it or not, the cop is still on the force. And this kind of police abuse happens countless times in America every single day. So yeah, American cops are out of control. But stay tuned because these cops ain't done with Gavin.
Every arrest they make now, every conviction in court, it's all a violation of the Constitution, guys. The Constitution's the law. Now, for me, in a situation like this, I can't fight everything. So I'm just here to observe, make sure this doesn't turn into some kind of a beatdown or something like that, right? And here they come again.
Can y'all go ahead and leave the scene?
Am I causing you some concern?
Yes, you are, because you're behind our traffic stop. And you're
Would it make you more comfortable if I pulled up on the side here?
That's even closer to us.
You have two choices. Either you can leave my scene or both of y'all are going to be arrested
For what?
for interfering.
How am I interfering?
You're interfering with my traffic stop. I don't like you sitting right here behind
You don't get to dictate that, but can you call a supervisor out and I can talk to him?
We've already talked to him, okay?
Can you tell me what law I'm breaking?
You're interfering with our traffic stop, okay?
In what way am I doing that?
You're interfering because we're over here speaking with you, okay?
Isn't it the Supreme Court has upheld our right just to film police
Okay, I'm
officers?
going to tell you one more time.
Are you going to leave or
You
not?
can either leave right now with your kids in your vehicle.
Okay, so you're threatening my family with force then, is that what it is?
We're asking you to leave.
And you're going to use force against me if I don't
I'm
leave.
saying that y'all are going to be arrested if y'all don't leave our traffic.
So you're going to, at the point of a gun, you're going to threaten harm to my family, is that correct?
I never said that.
That's what you're saying.
Okay, one more chance. Either leave the scene or step out of the vehicle and you're going to be arrested.
Okay, well, since you're threatening my life, I'm going to move away from the scene because you guys are threatening my life and the life of my 4 kids in here. You are well outside the law. And normally, if I was by myself, I would probably refuse, but I got my family in the car.
This is what the people in the comment section under Gavin's video had a problem with. The leather munchers say that cops didn't threaten their lives, but what do you call it when costumed humans with guns and authority threaten to take away your freedoms by arresting you? Especially when you've done nothing wrong and you've got your family in the car. If the cops are going to do that against this family's will and without their consent, then yeah, they're going to do it by force. And what's going to happen to the children if mom and dad go to jail? That is a direct threat on the very lives of a family that committed no crime.
You are breaking the law right now. You're violating your oath. You're acting as criminals.
All right.
And what I'm going to do is I'm going to move somewhere else and film you to make sure that you're not untoward to this. I want what's your badge number, ma'am?
It's 208.
Okay. I intend to have you held accountable for this. What's your rank?
Go ahead and leave, please.
I will move is what I will do. I'm not going to leave.
Well away from
I'm going to move where I want to, ma'am.
Okay, goodbye.
Oh, here's another officer. I'm going to get a little further away.
Sink, come here.
Nope. Roll up your window.
Hey, come here.
Hey, sir. If you want to speak to me, sir, I'll be right here. I'm just moving away. You can come over and talk. I just wanted to get out of here. These guys are nuts. How you doing, sir?
How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm feeling very threatened by the behavior of your officers here.
Okay.
Because I'm exercising my First Amendment right.
Sure.
And you guys are acting like bullies, or they are rather. I don't want to speak for you. I don't know you.
I'll go ahead and identify myself. I'm Sergeant Park in the Police Department.
Are you a supervisor of these guys?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Well, I'm glad you're here because they threatened my family's life just now.
How so?
Because they said that we were both going to be arrested. I got 4 kids in the car. If we were both arrested, not only that, my wife has no control over me driving my vehicle.
Right.
I'm 30 feet back from them. We as the civilianry, sir,
Yes.
we have to look over our shoulders all the time to see if we're being followed or if we're going to be harassed and collected by a police officer in today's
You're not
America.
doing anything wrong. You don't have to worry about us.
That's nonsense because I wasn't doing anything wrong and they just threatened to arrest me and my wife, which would result in my kids being taken by Child Protective Services thousands of miles from my home. Would you consider that a threat if you were out and about?
You're good. Go back. You're good.
I don't understand. You seem like a reasonable, calm person.
Absolutely.
I don't understand how you cannot understand the situations we face. You, as the officers, are supposed to be out here keeping the peace and de-escalating situations.
Exactly. They're under arrest because they have warrants for their arrest. That's not our fault. They didn't pay their tickets.
So what kind of tickets are they?
I'm not allowed to tell you that because
You are allowed. It's public record.
It's okay. Well, if it's public record, you can go research it, but I'm not going to disclose. You have no relation to the person being arrested, so
I don't know. They're humans.
I don't feel comfortable releasing their information.
Okay,
to
fair
you.
enough. Okay. You've got somebody that's got, let's say, 3 or 4 traffic tickets, whatever it might be on their record. Maybe it's a burnout taillight. And you think it's law to go out and take people's cars to impound, lock them away in jails with no victim because their taillight was burned out? Does that seem okay to you?
Only
Is that
thing
America?
we do, whenever we see a traffic offense, we just issue the citation. We don't do any judgment. That's for the judge to do.
No, it's not.
It
You're all
is.
accountable.
It is. That is the procedure. We
Haven't
just
you-
issue the ticket, and then they get a court date or whatever. The judge sets the fine. Now, if they don't take care of their fine or whatever, the municipality is the one that issues the warrant.
Isn't there right and wrong? Aren't you accountable, just like the people in the Nuremberg trials? If you
I don't know how the difference in right or wrong plays into what we're talking about. Though. All we know is it comes back that they have an active warrant, and then we have to take them in to jail. That's our job. We have no choice.
That's nonsense. It's
There's
not
no
your job.
choice.
Your job is this right here, sir. Do you have a copy of this right here?
I don't carry it around with me.
Well, you should. You don't carry the Constitution? Do you know what the 6th Amendment is? The 4th Amendment? You don't carry a copy of the Constitution?
We don't carry a copy of the Constitution with us, sir.
Why?
We
I want you to
also
keep
don't
that.
carry a law book.
You need one.
No,
That's the best.
I'm not going to take your
That is your law book. I have plenty of those.
I'm going to leave it right here because I'm not going to take your property, okay?
This cop is literally reacting to a pocket constitution like a vampire reacts to light.
203, what was the location of that call I was en route to?
Area of 4th Street and Riley. First caller was from 1150 4th Street. Second caller was from 516 Riley.
What was the nature of the call?
Hearing of gunshots in the area.
That is why I have to leave. Do you understand?
Well, okay,
so
but
if
you came out here. It
please-
wasn't
if
too
you
urgent,
would-
or you wouldn't have come out here.
Well, I was concerned for the safety of my
I was
officers,
concerned for
okay?
the safety of my family, and your
Okay.
officers threatened them,
I'm
and I
gonna
want some
leave you- I'm gonna
disciplinary
leave you.
action taken on that front.
Everything is going good. If you would please just maintain your distance where you're at right now, I would greatly appreciate it. I'm going to go ahead and go.
What I want you to think about tonight, I know that you have this idea that you do your job, but just remember, there's no just doing your job. There's right or wrong. You took an oath to this Constitution, whether you carry a copy or not.
Okay, well,
and this Constitution's
right and
the
wrong
law.
is an opinion, okay? So
No, it's the
harassing
law.
police officers is probably considered wrong to most people. We're just trying to do our job.
I'm not harassing anyone. I'm
We're trying to do
observing
our
you.
job. You're trying to make our job harder, okay? That's all
Actually,
you're
I made
doing.
no contact.
Okay.
You realize that your officers contacted me. I
On
didn't
my
endanger them.
orders.
I
On
did
my
not
orders.
endanger them.
But they
I was
didn't come
well
and
out of
identify
distance.
you. They didn't do anything like that. All I
wasn't
wanted
giving
you
them
to
that
do-
option.
All I wanted you to do is just keep your distance where you're at.
My
right
distance
now.
was kept. I was 10 feet away, sir. The difference between where I am now and there was nonsensical. You just
Okay.
wanted to exert
Okay,
your
look.
authority.
I just want you to stay about this distance.
I'm
away,
not.
okay?
The only reason I moved is because you guys threatened my family with violence.
Okay, we didn't threaten anything.
Yes, you did.
were
That's what an
threatened-
arrest is.
You were threatened that you'd be placed under arrest for interfering with a police
And if I had
investigation
attempted to
if you
defend
didn't
myself,
leave.
I wasn't interfering with nothing. You guys were leaving your
Okay.
police investigation.
I'm trying to make sure that no interference happens. I'm trying to
The only
make
one
sure
that's
that
interfered
nothing
here, sir, is
escalates.
you. The only one that's violated their oath is your officers, and that's what you need to think about. If you got a call, I don't want to keep you from it. You better get going.
I am. You have a nice night.
You too.
Stopping to exercise a constitutional right cannot be construed as an obstruction. Even though these
Good job.
cops
Thank
try
you.
to, you can't legitimately turn a right into a crime. These cops are trying to leverage their power and authority to get their way. It's what every abuser does. They have a great deal of perceived power. And if power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely, then we need to find another way to keep our streets safe. If you guys enjoy these videos, maybe you'll enjoy some of my others. If you haven't done so already, take some time right now and look at the most popular videos and some of my playlists.
what I
There's
told you
probably some
to.
videos that you missed, and all of them are very much still in play. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to this channel, hit the bell notification icon, give it a thumbs up, share it with everybody you know. Don't forget to subscribe to my private email list through my website, highimpactflix.com. That's highimpactflix.com. If you want to support the channel further, become a channel member and grab a hard-hitting conversation starting design that you can put on a shirt,
Appreciate
hoodie,
it.
mug, hat, cell phone case, whatever you want. Remember, freedom is dangerous. The only thing more dangerous is not having it. I'll see you in the next video.
Welcome back to the Civil Rights Lawyer channel. Last week, a jury in Wayne County, Michigan, awarded $9.3 million to a plaintiff against a Dearborn, Michigan police officer who arrested him and used
Yeah.
excessive force during the arrest. I ended up finding all of the raw body cam footage, some of which was in the
You
news,
want that
but
to
most
me,
of which was not. Let's take a look at it.
Come here, guy. Come here. Yo.
Whoa. What did I do? I'm sorry. What did I do? I just was asking for
Hey, give me your
directions,
car.
bro. Sir, I was asking for directions.
I told you where I was there, right?
Okay.
The confrontation began when then 20-year-old Luther Gonzalez Hall was riding his bike home from a friend's house where he had been drinking some, and he sees a police officer in a marked police car and he asks him for directions. Apparently wasn't satisfied with those directions, so then he goes into a White Castle restaurant also to ask them directions. Then the police officer sees him go into the White Castle. Apparently he's not happy that he's going into the White Castle. Here's what happens.
Oh, shit.
Dude, what are you doing, man?
I'm just looking for my way back.
Wait.
trying to get directions to Eastern Middle.
I told you where I was at about 2 minutes ago.
That was you?
Yeah. Well, who the fuck else was it?
I'm sorry. I know you're the cops.
I told you where I was at, right?
Yeah.
So why are you in here asking the same thing?
I'm not for sure where I'm going.
I told you where to go.
All right, thank you.
Is that accurate or no?
Yeah.
So why are you in here?
I was just making sure.
Making sure I told you the right thing?
I'm not for sure where I'm going.
I told you where to go, right?
Yeah.
So why are you in here?
All right, sorry.
No. Why are you in here?
I told you I wasn't for sure where I'm going.
All right.
You said go to Angola, right? All right, thank you. Excuse
No,
me.
I didn't. No, hold tight.
All right, thank you.
Come here, guy. Come here. Yo.
Whoa.
What are you doing,
You
man?
don't need to touch me like that. Whoa.
Stop.
What are you touching like that? Whoa. I'm not. What the fuck are you doing, bro? What the fuck? Stop. I'm not resisting. What the fuck is your problem? Bro, what the fuck is your problem?
Stop.
What? Okay.
Hey.
So, what did I do? I'm sorry. What did I do? I just was asking for directions, bro. I was just asking for directions, bro. Bro, I was asking for directions, man. What is your problem, man?
7.
Okay, I was asking for directions.
Turn around.
7, I'm coming from Evergreen Hubbard.
Turn around.
Sir, I was asking for directions.
I told you I was there, right?
Okay, can you please let me go?
Hold tight.
What's wrong, man?
Hold tight.
Easy one.
Can you please let me go? What's wrong?
Hold tight.
You can hear that he was slurring his words a little bit, and the information did come out that he had been drinking some previously at his friend's house, but Internal Affairs found that still did not constitute a crime in this jurisdiction.
Whoa, what is wrong? What is wrong, man?
Just stop, dude.
You're letting me choke. You're choking me.
Stop.
You're choking me.
Stop it.
You're choking me, bro. You're choking me, bro.
Hey, give me a car.
So what happened here basically is that he was being choked, and he decided the better thing to do was to attempt to run away, which he did.
What is your problem, bro? You're choking me.
Stop it, dude.
So Officer Sanders chased Gonzalez Hall, knocked him to the ground, and Gonzalez Hall claimed that once he was on the ground and once you see the body cam itself fall to the ground, he claims that he was being choked, and at that point he was scared and was able to run off. Eventually, 2 other police officers showed up. We have their body cam footage as well, and that's where I think the use of force that caused the injury occurred. Take a look.
Is it just one? Was it just one?
Yeah.
Wait. Here.
Get on the ground! Please stop! Get on the ground now! Alright, what do I do, please?
Cuff him, goddammit.
Fuck!
Cuff the hooker.
Alright. Please, don't do it. I swear to God, I'm not doing nothing. Shut up, dude. Well,
If you want to loading jump up right now, I'll head your way as soon as he's out of here.
Got it. Okay, keep your fucking head down.
Yeah.
Guys, please. Okay. You ain't gotta do me like that. Hey.
Why are you running?
I don't know what's going on. I ain't never been saying that.
That was stupid, wasn't it? Because you were dumb enough to run this time. So I was in the parking lot, grab my stuff, and got the camera over there in the lot, keys.
Guys, I got the baby. I was trying to get home.
Shut up.
You're going to jail now. Guys,
Look at
fuck.
There's only one, right?
Hey.
Stand up. Can you walk?
Yeah, if you let me go. Hey.
Stand up. Come on.
All right, can you let me put my hands up?
No.
Come on,
Go.
man. My ass is out,
Go.
bro.
fuck up.
Hey, are you serious, bro?
Yeah, I'm serious. Move.
All right. Oh, my fucking God.
Stand
You're
up.
fucking pulling
How
me,
fucking
bro.
old are you?
Bro, hold up, dude. You're pulling out a fucking neck. That was fucking insane. Are you fucking kidding me, dude?
Come on, go. Yeah.
Stand up now.
Stop hitting me into the fucking car then.
Stand up.
Girl, please, man. My fuck. You gonna come and shut up like that?
Hey, you can run, you can walk.
Come on, man.
Take your ass in the car.
I'm fucking trying. You're hurting my fucking leg. All right. Can you please chill out? All right, guys. Man. All right, just chill out. All right, hold on. Alright, bro. Hold on. Get in. Bro, are you fucking kidding me?
Get in the car.
I'm gonna get in the fucking car. Damn.
Get in the car now.
Alright, fuck you.
So during this so-called rough arrest, this guy's foot got broken. He got seriously injured, and from my understanding, he never fully recovered. He still today has a limp, and that explains the large amount of damages that the jury was able to award in this case. But they did criminally charge him. They arrested him. They held him for hours without telling him what he was being charged with. Ultimately, they charged him with like resisting arrest, maybe obstruction type charges. Those bogus charges were quickly dismissed, and then the case was referred to Internal Affairs at the Dearborn, Michigan Police Department, and they ultimately found that this was a false arrest, that this guy had a legal right to resist an unlawful arrest. A lawsuit was filed, and ultimately that wound its way up through over the course of 4 or 5 years, ultimately to a jury who awarded the $9.6 million. The most important thing to understand here is not just that excessive force occurred, but it was that it was a false arrest from the beginning. There was no reasonable suspicion or probable cause to either detain or arrest Mr. Gonzalez Hall. He initially had asked the officers for directions on how to ride his bicycle to the location in which he was headed. He went into the White Castle and asked them for directions as well. And no matter what this Officer Sanders ended up coming up with after the fact is possible reasonable suspicion of a crime, the fact is, and Internal Affairs verified that the employees inside the restaurant immediately informed Officer Sanders that this guy was not committing a crime in there. He was just in there asking for directions. And therefore, Officer Sanders had no legal right to chase him down, knock him off his bicycle, and arrest him. And because of that, everything that happened afterwards was in violation of the Fourth Amendment, because there was no right to detain or arrest him. Therefore, it didn't just matter whether or not they were using a reasonable or an excessive amount of force in arresting him, because they weren't allowed to use any level of force or to detain him at all. So that's why it was a strong case for the plaintiff. And then secondly, because he had legitimate, verifiable medical injuries that he should not have had, and he was going to have a limp for the rest of his life, that allowed the plaintiff's attorneys to push a very large number of damages at trial. So remember, usually the problem in constitutional injury cases is that you don't have a whole lot of damages. You just have maybe some attorney's fees related to the criminal case, maybe some time off work, things of that nature, maybe a little bit of pain and suffering type injuries. But here, where you have actual medical documented injuries that are going to affect the types of activities you can do or cannot do in the future, the type of employment, that really can push up the damages. So as always, if you like watching this sort of police footage, especially this is the best kind where we can watch the footage and then we know the outcome, $9.6 million verdict. So subscribe here and also at the blog at thecivilrightslawyer.com. Also, if you're on Twitter, follow me there. It's John Bryan ESQ on Twitter. Also, check out my Facebook page, John H. Bryan, Attorney at Law. Remember, freedom is scary. Deal with it.
All right, let's see what we can find. We got a couple more things to do, and then we're gonna have to go. Do. President of the state is.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. This Adam Schiff guy, huh? The problem with being a dishonest, serial liar, a cringe loser, is that you can't go anywhere. Any public event that you show up to that isn't carefully curated to protect you, well, you're probably going to get booed into oblivion, and any discussion or debate that you engage in, if your opponent is even semi-prepared with the facts of your hypocrisy or dishonesty, and in the case of Adam Schiff, your borderline criminal, if not criminal actions and corrupt nature, if your opponent is tuned in and has the receipts, well then you're in for a very unpleasant, embarrassing experience. And boy oh boy, is the John Durham hearing that's currently going on as I'm recording this video a gift that keeps on giving. Adam Schiff just got absolutely BTFO'd with a couple simple words. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that, then let's provide the actual receipts as to why Adam Schiff is not only probably the worst politician currently in Washington, but just one of the worst human beings on this planet. We've got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. All right, folks, a very interesting interaction, a very interesting moment between John Durham and Adam Schiff.
Was giving this Russian intelligence officer internal campaign polling data. Russian intelligence was helping the Trump campaign, weren't they?
I don't know that.
You really don't know those very basic facts of the investigation?
I know the general facts, yes. Do I know that particular fact myself? No. I mean, I know that I've read that in the media.
And are you aware, Mr. Durham, that Mueller and congressional investigations also revealed that Don Jr. was informed that a Russian official was offering the Trump campaign, quote, very high level and sensitive information, unquote, that would be incriminating if Hillary Clinton was part of, quote, Russia and its government support of Mr. Trump? You aware of that?
Sure, people get phone calls all the time from individuals who claim to have information like that.
Really, the son of a presidential candidate gets calls all the time from a foreign government offering dirt on their opponent? Is that what you're saying?
I don't think this is unique in your experience.
So you have other instances of the Russian government offering dirt on a presidential candidate to the presidential candidate's son. Is that what you're saying?
Would you repeat the question?
You said that it's not uncommon to get offers of help from a hostile foreign government in a presidential campaign directed at the president's son. You really stand by that, Mr. Durham?
I'm saying that people can make phone calls making claims all the time that you may have experienced.
Are you really trying to diminish the significance of what happened here and the secret meeting that the president's son set up in Trump Tower to receive that incriminating information? Trying to diminish the significance of that, Mr. Durham?
I'm not trying to diminish it at all, but I think the more complete story is that they met and it was a ruse and they didn't talk about Mrs. Clinton.
And you think it's insignificant that he had a secret meeting with a Russian delegation for the purpose of getting dirt on Hillary Clinton, and the only disappointment expressed in that meeting was that the dirt they got wasn't better. You don't think that's significant?
I don't think that was a well-advised thing to do.
Not well-advised.
Right.
Wow, that's the understatement of the year. So you think it's perfectly appropriate or maybe just ill-advised for a presidential campaign to secretly meet with a Russian delegation to get dirt on their opponent? You would merely say that's inadvisable?
Yeah, if you're asking me what I do, I hope I wouldn't do it.
Embarrassing.
It was not illegal. It was stupid, foolish, ill-advised.
Well, I mean, talk about embarrassing. Did you see the guy's face? And it's simply more proof that Adam Schiff has no shame. There is nothing he is unwilling to say to attain his goals. There is no line that he is unwilling to cross. And of course, it's because he feels no shame. There's no embarrassment with this guy. You think he doesn't know the clear hypocrisy on that specific issue? The issue of receiving a phone call from a foreign national, or probably more particular in this case, a Russian foreign national, promising dirt on your political opponent. John Durham absolutely BTFO'd him, and you know that he BTFO'd him because when Adam Schiff gets owned in a debate or discussion, his eyeballs flare, the classic Adam Schiff look of despair. Of course, most of you know exactly why Adam Schiff shouldn't be lecturing anyone on receiving phone calls from the Russians. The infamous clip, the infamous moment of Adam Schiff getting prank called back in 2016 or 2017 by a couple Russian comedians promising dirt straight from the Kremlin on Donald Trump, which Adam Schiff, of course, was more than willing to oblige and entertain.
Thank you, Chairman. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you.
I know that you work for investigation regarding Trump and Russian government.
Yes.
We know some important information about that.
And that is documented as well in materials you want to provide to us?
Yes. Could I explain you where we are?
Yes, of course. But, again, I would just caution that our Russian friends may be listening to the conversation, so I wouldn't share anything over the phone that you don't want them to hear.
No, I don't think that it will impact on our investigation.
Yes. Well, please go ahead then.
In November 2013, Mr. Trump visited Moscow. He visited competition Miss Universe, and there he met with the Russian journalist and celebrity Ksenia Sobchak.
I'm sorry, can you explain that again? While he was in Moscow in November 2013, he met with a journalist and...
Well, she's poor journalist, but anyway, she became famous because of Putin is her godfather.
He's condemning Don Trump Jr. for simply taking a meeting which led to literally nothing when he is guilty of literally the exact same thing. Well, guilty. Not literally guilty, but you know what I mean. And of course, bringing up that point, he had to have been keenly aware of this hypocrisy, the irony. Maybe he was hoping that John Durham wasn't aware of this infamous prank phone call, but obviously, after investigating all the happenings related to Crossfire Hurricane and the Russia hoax, he's probably keenly aware of all the facts, and especially Adam Schiff's involvement. Adam Schiff, Mr. More Than Circumstantial Evidence, Mr. Whistleblower Scandal, Mr. So eager to get Donald Trump he was willing to take random phone calls from random Russians, totally willing to take them on as anonymous sources. This guy should have not. There is no one who can justify this man's presence during a John Durham hearing. He is the last person who should be present in the room. Frankly, Adam Schiff shouldn't be present in Congress, period. One of the most corrupt scumbags on planet Earth. I'd argue one of the worst human beings on planet Earth. And I know the initial counter would be, well, there's convicted murderers and RAPISTSs. And sure, those people are absolutely terrible, but those people, for the most part, affected one family or one community in a horrible, awful, tragic way. I'm not trying to downplay it, but if we put Adam Schiff's behavior in context, this man took the entire country through a 4-year-long nonsense hoax. This man tried to destroy Donald Trump's life. He tried to destroy Donald Trump's children's lives. He made false claims of having evidence that would prove that Donald Trump and his family were traitors to the nation and working with the Kremlin. He spread misinformation, sowed discord in American society. It's a tough ethical comparison. Surely it's not as tragic, it's not as horrible, but it's downright evil and the effects were widespread. That's who Adam Schiff is. The man should have resigned years ago, but instead of resigning, he's residing in these committees, present during these hearings, has no guilt, no shame, and feels nothing when caught in these terribly embarrassing moments. He is one of the world's biggest scumbags. I don't care what anyone says, that is my view of the man. And even worse, he continues to spread these horrible, divisive lies and then tries to fundraise on them. Donald Trump and his Russian pals are trying to get into the White House once again. Click the link down below and donate to my campaign so we can hold Donald Trump accountable, as a typical Adam Schiff tweet. Complete loser. I mean, just the basic context here. Adam Schiff is doubling down. At this point, it's more than doubling down, but you get the point. In his defense of a phony, sham, corrupt investigation, Crossfire Hurricane, and all the despicable actions that orbited it, he is actively distracting from defending horrible political corruption at the Federal Bureau of Investigation. Just that clear, provable context alone pretty much shows you exactly who this guy is. Anyways, I don't want to go on and on about Adam Schiff. The more I think about it, the more I go on, the more frustrating it gets, the more frustrated I feel. Adam Schiff is the epitome of a sociopathic, awful, lying, disingenuous political snake. And I just figured you guys would want to see John Durham absolutely humiliate him in this great exchange. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, make sure to leave a like and possibly subscribe to the channel. You know that we'd love to have you here. Thanks for watching, folks, and I'll see you on the next one.
You like the ducks? I look tired. You're a real tyrant.
Tyrant.
Yeah, you know what a tyrant is. Look it up.
What is a tyrant?
Look it up. Oh, you don't know?
Does he have gray hair like me?
Let me ask you. You know what I mean? So you got a dog too?
Yeah, you want to see the doggy?
Let me about them.
So right here, pal.
Right here?
You got to.
Do they teach you guys anything about the Constitution?
The Constitution.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
The U.S. Constitution.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is News Now Ninja. Today's video is a huge shout out to Stanford Guardian, who was out holding local government officials accountable during a traffic stop when approached by one of the most immature, childish sergeants I've seen on the internet today. Let me know what you think about this video in the comments section. All original links will be in the description. Do not forget to get over to his channel and let him know that News Now Ninja sent you, and let's get straight to it.
Your last responder. That was a cool looking coffin last night.
Hold on, I just want to make sure I get your face real good.
Yeah, go ahead, do that. Yeah, don't come over here.
Hey, how you doing?
Don't come over here trumping on my First
what are you
Amendment
talking
right.
about?
There we go. There you go. The intimidation. Here we go. There you go. The intimidation. Here we go. Here's the intimidation. All right, this is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. This is what I wanted. Yeah.
Did you have to look at the water?
Yeah. Thanks for identifying, by the way. Yeah. There you go. You like the ducks? Yeah, you look like one. There you go.
Wow, that's not nice.
Intimidating. Yeah. This is what you guys do.
My two kids.
You know this is terrible right here,
call me a
right?
duck?
This is terrible.
Why'd you call me a
I
duck?
don't answer
That's
questions,
not nice.
man. I don't answer questions.
You hurt my feelings, man.
Oh,
I got two daughters. They're gonna cry.
That's too bad. That's too bad. You know, you're a law enforcement officer. That shouldn't apply to you. You know what I mean? You got a dog too?
Yeah, you want to see a doggy?
Nah,
I
I'm
have
all right.
stickers. I'll give
I'm
you a
all right.
sticker.
I'm good.
Would you like a sticker?
I'm good.
I have canine stickers.
You're a
Would you like
tyrant.
one?
You know that, right? You're
What's
a real
that?
tyrant, man.
I look tired?
You're a real tyrant.
Tyrant.
Yeah, you know what a tyrant is. Look it up.
What is a tyrant?
Look it up. Oh, you don't know?
Does he have gray hair like me?
Let me ask you something. In your training, do they teach you guys anything about the Constitution?
The Constitution.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
The U.S. Constitution.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah,
what
the
a
U.S.
wonderful
Constitution.
document.
Yeah, the one you swore an
Thomas
oath to.
Jefferson.
The one you swore an oath to. Oh, so you want to play dumb now, see?
Come on, let's talk to the duck.
I'm trying to make you look good on camera, but you're making yourself look like a
thank
fool,
you.
bro. You know that?
I look like a fool, or I sound like
Well, you know, well, we'll let Chief
Shaw.
Shaw.
Timothy
Yeah, there you
Shaw.
go. See, you know a lot of stuff, right?
I've
Good
worked with him
information.
for a long time.
You should work for the information booth.
We don't have
desk.
one yet, but
You don't have
I'd
one
be
yet?
happy to. I'd be happy to.
Yeah, work the front desk. What's your name? Your badge number?
So right here, pal.
Right here?
You got it a couple months ago, but
Right here?
Here you go. Yep.
Oh, that's your name right here?
Yep. You don't
Okay,
like
right
the
here.
ducks or what?
Right here. So you're another one right here, right?
How about the I'm sunset? another police officer. Yeah.
Police officer? You think so?
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Have you read your policy lately?
Which one?
Which one would that be?
Oh, which one would
There's
that
an
be?
awful
Actually,
lot of
actually, chief. Actually, chief.
Which chief?
Which chief? He just mentioned it. What are you, deaf?
No,
we have
Tim
three.
Shaw.
we have three. That's why I'm asking
Well,
which one.
well, he just mentioned one. That's good enough, right?
He's the chief. Then we have Assistant Chief Silas Red.
Right. Silas
Right.
Red. Okay.
Right. And then we have Assistant Chief Louis DeRubis.
Nice.
And he's in the FBI National Academy right now doing some schooling.
Nice. Good for him.
It's good stuff, man.
So he's in the right place, and you're in the wrong place.
All homegrown Stanford police.
You should be patrolling after your stop is done, and you're over here intimidating and just
Well, how's
asking
everything?
questions.
I thought we were talking about ducks. I didn't ask you any
I
questions.
didn't ask you anything. I didn't even ask you to come over here.
You did ask me. You
As
asked
far
me
as
who
I'm
the chief
concerned,
was.
it's not a cordial conversation, man.
Oh, it's not. Well, you're free to leave. I'm not asking you. Any
I'm not
questions.
free to leave, and I'm free to stay too.
You're free to stay.
Yeah, and you're free to go back to work. We're
I
paying.
am
That's
free
what
to go
that's
back
what
to work.
taxpayers. That's what we're paying you
No,
for.
but I'm engaging with the community.
Yeah, well, and get the you're
Right now,
disengaging right now.
Right
Disengaging.
now, the key. Well, then you.
Nobody asked you to engage, but I appreciate it though.
Like I
You
said,
know.
I'm looking at the ducks. So
Yeah, go ahead. Take a look at the ducks. That's you, Aiden, right?
What a tyrant, man. Holy shit. And then you standing by and you letting him.
No, we're talking about.
This is how you teach. This is how you teach them, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's teaching you well, man.
I took aquaculture.
He's teaching you to get a lot of citizen complaints and a lot of internal affairs complaints on your record. That's what he's teaching you, bro. That's what he's teaching. Yeah. You guys should all hop in the cars and go back to work.
So,
You know, so that's what we pay you for.
UBS building right there. That's caused about.
Yeah. Look at this shit. I want to act like they're having a conversation right now. He's being filmed. Get ready to go up on YouTube in a second. Wow.
But the illegal dumping.
Hey, you should do something about that. The illegal dumping. Yeah, that's good.
No, the ducks definitely don't seem you like ducks?
Look at this.
Oh yeah, perfect.
You get paid to talk about ducks. What a fucking clown.
Nikito.
This is what they do. You can't do shit about this shit. They get upset and they want to violate the First Amendment right. Come over here and try to intimidate. In groups, I got 4 of them here. That's the sergeant, the boss. He's the one teaching them all the bullshit, all the intimidation tactics. We got 1, 3, 4 cop cars here. And here they go, wasting taxpayers dollars on the bridge, talking about ducks.
Well, we're looking at the ducks.
You take a bath with a rubber ducky? Boy, you love ducks, huh? Look at this shit.
Oh, yeah?
Let's see how long they take a look at the ducks over here.
Condolences to them. Condolences.
Motherfucking tired. Can't be nice to you guys, man. I just want to come out with all this intimidation, all this bullshit. Look stupid on YouTube. Jesus Christ. Yo, next time bring some bread, man. Feed them or something.
Well, fun fact: bread isn't good for them. They like cornmeal, actually.
Cornmeal. So pick up some cornmeal. With my taxpayer dollars, pick up some cornmeal next time. They're hungry, man. They're always hungry. They're always hungry. The ducks are always hungry. Yeah, the ducks are always hungry.
Another one?
Always hungry. Yo, you ever been on a duck walk? You ever been on a duck walk?
Who's TATT?
Yo, you're a funny tyrant, man. You're hilarious, dude. Go back to work. Go back to work. There you go.
Stanford?
Now that's the idea.
This video or Stanford Tech? Here it is. Oop. The fuck?
I just want to make sure I get your face real good.
Yeah, go ahead. Do that. Yeah. Yeah. There you go. You like the ducks?
I look
tired.
You're a real
This one
tyrant.
really like tyrant.
Yeah, you know what a tyrant is. Look it up.
What is a tyrant?
Look it up. Oh, you don't know?
Does he have gray hair like me?
Let me ask you. You know what I mean? So you got a dog too?
Yeah, you want to see the doggy?
Let me ask them.
So right here, Bob.
Right here?
You gotta.
Do they teach you guys anything about the Constitution?
The Constitution.
Oh, you don't know what that is?
The U.S. Constitution.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is News Now Ninja. Today's video is a huge shout out to Stanford Guardian, who was out holding local government officials accountable during a traffic stop when approached by one of the most immature, childish sergeants I've seen.
All right. Let's look at this real quick.
Everyone will be switching over to SPD's channel.
The male subject was seen wearing a camouflage outfit with a Signal 0 rifle over his shoulder.
5113 dispatch. 5113.
Air 1 dispatch. We have visual on the subject. Yeah, it's 10-4. It does appear he has a rifle.
42 to Air 1. Do you also see a fishing pole?
That's 10-4. It does appear he has a fishing pole as well.
Excuse me, ma'am. Did you guys get a call? Is that what the helicopter was for?
People just, you know,
They see it and yeah.
they, you know.
Yeah, no. Like, I hope that's not for me because I don't want to waste
No,
resources.
it's one of those things where, you know, sometimes it could be something that's not going right and
Right.
going wrong, but you know,
Yeah.
you are in compliance, so there's no reason.
This month, I celebrated my day 365 of womanhood, and Bud Light sent me possibly the best gift ever, a can with my face on it. Check out my Instagram story to see how you can enjoy March Madness with Bud Light and maybe win some money too. Love ya. Cheers. Go team. Whatever team you love, I love too. Okay. Love ya. Okay. Break a leg.
All right, we're gonna kill it. It's almost 4 hours. That's some other things I gotta do. Let me go live again later. I gotta go get a haircut actually. Gotta get that fade going. No piggy tonight. No piggy today. We're just playing my way.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave. 6 feet deep under, but my body won't decay. Cause my messages are timeless, so they'll put them on display. Oh yeah, I rap with a certainty, I have a sense of urgency. A message for eternity, for everyone internally. I had some people burning me, but now they fucking learn to see I ain't the one to fuck with. Now they looking nervously, and I don't really care what you think of me respectfully. You can kick rocks if you think you're fucking better, see. I will outwork you, turn you to an enemy. Hurt you so bad that you're gonna need some therapy. I got the motherfucking recipe. I've been cooking up hits, I'ma leave a legacy. You'll be looking small when you're standing right next to me. I'm 5'10", bitch, but I'm 10 feet.
Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Yeah, I'ma do it my way.
Coming out with a statement. You really changed, man, all your music and arrangement. You don't know shit, shut your mouth, you can save it. I'm the same dude that got his come up from the basement. 100 songs, 100 weeks, didn't change it. Experiments, development, intelligence, and patience. I'll do it all again, cause I never feel complacent. Let's keep the good vibes, positivity's contagious. I'm never looking back, cause I made a life that's passionate. A college graduate suppressing all his talents, yeah. He found a way to go and change, become an advocate. For taking control of your life, go out and battle. And you think you have a dream, then act on it. Get after it, get out your head and fucking capture it. You got one life to master it. Don't give up on your future. We all start losers. We're all late bloomers, gotta sell them through the sewer.
What you say? Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make. Cause I don't give a fuck what you say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.